As the 2019 season comes to a close, the Canyon Cougars find themselves on the outside looking in when it comes to postseason seeding. The goal tonight is simply twofold: send the seniors off with a win and hope to build momentum to 2020. Tonight, the Cougars welcome our neighbors from north of York Creek, the San Marcos Rattlers, a team that is wrapping up a substandard season of their own, hoping to, likewise, build confidence to 2020. It's the Canyon Cougars and the San Marcos Rattlers for Senior Night 2019, coming up next on the Cougars Network. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Cougar Stadium on the campus of Canyon High School in New Braunfels, Texas. I am Ben Campos with my broadcast partner this evening, Bill Colhane, and Bo Wick is our executive producer. And Bill, this is the curse of high school football. It happens to me every year. You wait all spring, you wait all summer, it feels like forever. It gets here, you blink, and it's over. And here we are, just like that, the last week of the regular season for high school football.
Great description, Ben. You're exactly right. It does seem like it flies by. All the preparation, all the work that goes in to getting ready for a season. And maybe because there is all that sweat equity involved in getting ready for games week by week and season, maybe that's why it flies by. But we also know this. It being senior night, it's particularly emotional. I look down here for New Braunfels Canyon. There are about 22 seniors who will be suiting up in their Cougar uniforms for the final time. But you look at the other side, and Coach Soto, his Rattlers, 28 seniors over there for San Marcos. So, yes, it's an emotional night, but you know this as well. Those seniors want to go out with a win because you and I were both fortunate to play beyond our high school days. But for some of these guys, this will be the final time that they put on pads, and we know how special that feeling is. But think about the band. Think about the cheerleaders. Think about the parents up here in the stands at Cougar Stadium. There is a lot going into tonight's game. Forget the records.
That's what I liked about the senior night festivities here at Cougar Stadium. Yes, they recognize the football players, but as you mentioned, the senior band, senior drill team, senior cheerleaders also recognize as well. And why not? They've been with this football team throughout the whole season. Now, Bill, let's take a step back and look at this game. Both teams, let's face it, they've struggled this year. They're both 0-9. They're both looking for their first win of the season. So if you look at the standings, you might think, well, this really might not be that significant of a ball game. But for where these programs want to go next year, you know that there's some momentum to be found here going to the offseason.
No doubt about it, and that momentum could start tomorrow morning once the season is over. And, yeah, absolutely, both the Rattlers and the Cougars would like to look back at kind of an exclamation point to end the 2019 season. But getting back to the point about where these two teams reside in the standings, let's be clear. You look at 26-6A football, and you look across the Lone Star State, there is a lot of excellent football being played in this district. I did the Smithson Valley Converse Judson game a few weeks ago or so, and I brought up a point that night, and I'm going to repeat it. You look at this top 6 teams in 26-6A, a combined 15-3 record in non-district play. What does that tell you about the quality of play?
It's high, and when you look at non-district schedules, one thing I'm always quick to point out, nowadays, between the San Antonio and Austin corridor, there really is no such thing as cupcake schedules. You can't go outside of San Antonio through 35 to Austin and find somebody that's going to be an easy win. Between the two districts of 25-6A and 26-6A, it's who's who of Texas high school football. So those days of piling up non-district wins to set you up for a good district run might be over.
Well, and you look at these two coaches we have tonight, both of these sidelines, both of these coaches clearly believe in the mindset of iron sharpens iron. And, yeah, you could go out and maybe if you're in District 26-6A, you could find 2 or 3 of those before-mentioned cupcakes. But does that get you ready for Judson? Does that get you ready for Clemens? Does that get you ready for Steele, Smithson Valley, so on and so forth? I don't think so.
One thing to note, these San Marcos Rattlers a year ago were in District 25-6A, and, they might have put a coin in the wishing well to say, get me out of playing Westlake, get me out of playing Lake Travis. lo and behold, their prayers are answered, but they get to face now Steele, Smithson Valley, Judson. So it just goes to show you what the types of caliber of programs that are in the area.
In our production meeting, you and I talked about that very topic, and what did I say? Be careful what you wish for. And you're exactly right. 26-6A has been – the teams in the district have been good for a long time. I predict that the programs in the district are going to be good for the years ahead as well. But and I know it's going to be one of the storylines of tonight's game as we go through our broadcast, there is a lot of youth on both of these teams for both the Cougars and the Rattlers. So I will say that the future is bright for both New Braunfels Canyon and San Marcos.
So we have a lot of losses piling up on both sides of the football tonight, and we've mentioned it's because of the tough districts and the tough schedules, but there's plenty of statistics to point to and why these two teams have struggled on the year. Bill, I'm going to point to turnover ratio. Both these teams have struggled. I like that stat because it's a total team stat. You're talking about, does the offense give it away? Can the defense take it away? And explosive plays in the kicking game as well. For San Marcos, they're negative 21 in their turnover ratio, and for Canyon, negative 11. You could stop everything right there, and I could tell you teams with those types of numbers in the turnover ratio are almost by definition going to struggle.
You look at the formula for putting together wins and turnovers, and you mentioned explosive plays. Those two, I would suggest, more than maybe any other statistic, are at the top of what it takes to win ball games. And especially, here we go again, especially when you're playing tough teams. Now, maybe, and let's go to college football, maybe if you're Alabama, you can go into Vanderbilt, you can turn the ball over 4 times and let Vanderbilt bust some plays and you're still going to win. But, man, when you're already trying to fight tooth and nail to get a win, and then you're playing teams like we've already chronicled a number of times, it's really a tough road to hoe.
So these two teams will try to correct that statistic in tonight's ball game. Again, the kickoff for the Canyon Cougars and the San Marcos Rattlers is just moments away. I'm Ben Campos with Bill Colhane with you for tonight. We're going to take a break here on our pregame coverage, and when we come back, talk a little bit more about what the playoffs look like in District 26-6A. This is the Cougars Network.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Comal Independent School District, Frost Bank, Nissan of New Braunfels, Wick Productions, Ashley, Zaxby's, and Texas Tractor Country. Do you know what's perfect? Wick Productions teaming up with the Canyon Cougars. No kidding! We take pause when we hear you cheer for replays on the scoreboard. And we love the feline we get when you visit CougarsNetwork.com. Don't forget to subscribe, right? Meow. Isn't that right? What? Cat got your tongue? Mew it.
If you bank at Frost, we'll help keep your money safe. If you use your Frost debit card, the chip will make it more secure. If there's a suspicious transaction on your card, you'll get an alert. If you do, you can freeze your card with the Frost app. If you lose your phone, Touch ID login will help keep the app secure. Of course, if all you need is help from people who care, we've got that too.
Is someone in here with us?
Ghost Hunters is back with a new team, better tech, and more answers.
This is my favorite part of the night.
We had to flee our home.
I've been doing this for 30 years. I chase the truth. Only with the truth can I truly help someone. Whoa!
Ghost Hunters returns Wednesdays at 9 on A&E.
And welcome back to Cougar Stadium. Ben Campos, Bill Colhane getting you set for tonight's District 26-6A matchup between the Canyon Cougars and the San Marcos Rattlers. We mentioned in the in the opening bill that two teams kind of in the bottom of the district standings, and in terms of the playoff implication, not much on the line here at Cougar Stadium. But you take a look at the standings in District 26-6A. The district championship is still yet to be determined. Clemens and Judson are both at the top of the standings with a 6-0 district record, and they will play each other tonight. The Rockets on the road to go to Schertz to play Clemens. And the bottom of the playoff picture, you have Smithson Valley at 3-3, East Central at 3-3, and the New Braunfels Unicorns at 2-4. So an interesting scenario tonight. The New Braunfels Unicorns are on the road at Spring Branch, at Smithson Valley. You could catch that game on our sisters network, the Rangers Network. If New Braunfels wins, this will create an interesting tie-break scenario, because you could possibly have a three-way tie between Smithson Valley, East Central, and New Braunfels. The only way, Bill, the Unicorns can get in to the postseason is they need to beat Smithson Valley by 21 points to do it.
And on the road, as you pointed out, that it sounds like a difficult challenge. But, hey, Ben, you and I have followed Texas high school football for a long time. We've seen some crazy things happen.
New Braunfels, it should be noted, a week ago had a 7-0 lead on district leader Clemens, with the opportunity to go up 14-0 before an interception that Clemens took the other way, and then the game kind of fell into the swing of the Buffaloes. But to mention Smithson Valley here, they, again, if they lose, they need to keep it within 21 points to punch their ticket to the postseason. They have lost by that margin twice on the year. In the season opener on the road in Midland, they lost to Lee 45-21, and then a loss to the Steel Knights 35-10 in week 9. So while it's been a while since New Braunfels has been able to beat Smithson Valley, Smithson Valley's history shows that if they do lose, they at least keep it close.
No doubt about it. I mentioned I did that game, Smithson Valley at Judson, a few weeks ago, and talk about jumping out in front. Smithson Valley actually led early on in that ball game. I guess the moral of that story is, as usual, Larry Hill has a lot of talent on that Ranger football team. The Unicorns, talk about having your hands full.
And the other game in District, Steele will travel to Elmendorf to take on East Central. East Central been a little bit of a surprise this year. They got an early win versus the aforementioned New Braunfels Unicorns to play themselves into the playoff picture. If they are able to get the upset versus Steele, they'll be in that conversation as well. Right now on the field, the Canyon Cougars have busted through their inflatable tunnel, as have the San Marcos Rattlers. The colors are being presented at midfield. This will be our cue to step away for our national anthem. When we come back, kickoff into tonight's 26-6A matchup between the Canyon Cougars and the San Marcos Rattlers. You're listening to the Cougars Network.
3, 2, 1, here we go. Welcome to our NASCAR Race Hub.
From the green flag at Daytona to the checkers of Homestead.
In the car,
that close might get you on Race Hub.
Under the hood and hanging with the drivers.
A little love fest here. Gordon, Harvick, Canal, and of course the champ.
We've got the drama.
Get the heck out of the way.
The science.
New levels of analysis and storytelling for the sport.
NASCAR Race Hub, weeknights at 6 Eastern on FS1 and the Fox Sports app.
They were like falling apart as sisters.
They had this dark side in them.
All sisters fight, but no one ever imagined that this would go that far.
This is the person that shot her sister.
Twisted Sisters, all new, Mondays at 10 on Investigation Discovery.
Watch Investigation Discovery, GVTC, Channel 520.
Loyalty to the green leaf name is dying and it needs tending. I'm so tired of having this secret. I love you, James. As far as being in love, none of you care about me. The key to getting this church back? We have to leave room for God.
Watch OWN, GVTC, Channel 555.
Good things come to those who wait. At QVC, we say better things come now. Get it now. Pay over time, no extra charge with Easy Pay. The best news? You can use it on everything. Yes, everything. All the great brands you love and new products you'll discover. So why wait? It's Easy Pay every day. Now through September 30th. Shop QVC and QVC.com.
Wednesdays, science shows you why bigger is better.
The magnitude of this building, it's an incredible marvel.
These guys don't think small.
Definitely a little more dangerous
when it comes to living large.
I've got the best job in the world.
Building Giants, Wednesday at 9. Followed by Monster Ships at 10 on Science.
Watch Science. GVTC, Channel 518.
Sunday nights on Access TV. Access TV's new series, Paul Schaefer Plus One.
It's the Howard Stern Show, but no strippers.
Paul sits down with music's finest, followed by an all-new series, Brian Johnson's A Life on the Road. Brian sits down with music greats.
Just too good. Fabulous.
Sunday Night Rocks. It all starts 8/7 Central on Access TV.
And welcome back to Cougar Stadium. Pregame festivities winding down. Another wonderful rendition of our national anthem. Just moments ago from the Cougar Marching Band, a reminder, Monday is Veterans Day. So to those that have served our country, a big thank you from us here in the booths. A nice rendition of our national anthem, the colors being brought off the field. Earlier in pregame, the captains met at midfield for the coin toss. San Marcos won the toss, elected to defer, and Canyon will receive our opening kickoff. Bill, they always talk about what nice football weather is, and I think Exhibit A right in front of us, 47 degrees. The rain has moved through the area. Should just be a nice, crisp night for football.
No doubt about it. I told you I was at a game last night, and it was about 40 degrees, misty rain, and the wind was blustering at about 15 miles per hour, and obviously that was tough. It was tough in the stands, but yeah, you look down here tonight, and this certainly feels, it's got the sense of November football in the Lone Star State.
It is artificial next turf here at Cougar Stadium. The midfield logo is the red interlocking CC. Canyon is printed in red in the west end zone. Cougars in red in the east. San Marcos is in their road jerseys, white pants, white jerseys with purple numbers and a purple helmet. Canyon in their new look home jerseys, it's red pants, a black shirt with white numbers, the black helmet, and the red interlocking CC on the left side logo, and the player's jersey number in red on the right side of the helmet. Teeing the ball up for San Marcos is number 47. Check that, number 37, their kicker. And I don't have his name on an updated roster from Coach Soto, so the kicker will have it teed up. Getting ready for the final indication here from the referees. The clock is set at 12 minutes. And the final week of the high school football season is underway. It's a pooch kick on the far sideline. An onside kick recovered by San Marcos. It's number 4 for them, Malik Gordon with the reception, and it'll be 1st and 10 on the opening kickoff there for San Marcos.
A little trickery to start things off. Go back to earlier in the week, and Mark Soto, the head coach of the Rattlers, said, I think the team that gets the fast start is going to win this game. One way to get a fast start is get your offense on the field early.
That'll do it, and a nice pooch kick and run there for San Marcos sets them up 1st and 10 at their Cougar 40-yard line. It's 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right for quarterback Alex Garcia, who's looking to pass to the far side. On a little crow route, ball is above the head of his intended target. It'll be incomplete.
Looking at Garcia's numbers, 53.4% completion percentages, thrown for 11 touchdowns, but we talked about turnovers earlier in the pregame. 14 interceptions thrown by Garcia so far this season.
Ball on the far hash for 2nd down and 10. 2 receivers to the near side and a pistol look. Fake the handoff, back to pass Garcia. Pass is caught, again another crow route. And the receiver has it, is dropped by Darian Tanner. It'll be a gain of 8 on 2nd down.
Yeah, one guy whose name I know you're going to call a lot tonight, Takai Majid, an explosive, electrifying player.
Should have called his name theirs. He was the receiver there on a 3rd down and 3. Into Cougar territory, zone read is faked. Garcia is going to try to make something of it. Ball's on the ground as he crosses the 30-yard line. I think he got back on top of it. Should be enough for a Rattler first down at the Cougar 29.
The Rattlers fortunate there. A nice job of keeping the play alive, avoiding a few would-be tacklers, but you've got to hold on to the ball. We've talked about turnovers.
First down for San Marcos tonight on their opening drive. No score here in the first quarter. Trips receivers to the near side. Ball at the Cougar 29-yard line for Garcia, who's back to pass. Little curl route on the inside. Ball is caught. Shaken out of a tackle is Diego Cruz, who's then dropped after a gain of about 7.
Diego Cruz, one of the seniors tonight for the Rattlers, 882 all-purpose yards coming into the ballgame. Cruz has been out of the lineup for the past few weeks dealing with an ankle injury, and I know the Rattlers were excited to have him back into the lineup.
Ball now at the Cougar 23-yard line. It is 2nd down and 4. One receiver to the left, one to the right. Now send a man in motion. That's Magid, and that motion was out of confusion, and Coach Mark Soto is going to take a timeout. And we'll keep things here. 10:33 here in the first quarter. If you're just joining us, San Marcos on the opening kickoff elected for an onside kick. They recovered it and started this possession at the Cougar 40. And since then, Bill, they've kind of seemed like they wanted to go up-tempo, but not really truly going up-tempo, more just quick to the line. But so far, so good for the San Marcos Rattlers on their opening drive.
Yeah, it's not that tornado offense as you described, Ben, but certainly want to keep New Braunfels Canyon from making substitutions from – well, you know, one of the keys offensively is you want to get the opponent misaligned, misassigned, and one of the ways you can do that is going hurry up. But I want to go back to the kickoff. Once upon a time, Ben, you kicked. How difficult is it to kick that pooch kick so effectively?
You know, in baseball, a pitcher could look like he's throwing a fastball but throw you that changeup. It is tough to get a full charge into a kick, and then have it just be a little pooch kick. And it looked like a quarterback throwing it right to the right receivers. It's well done there for San Marcos. Play resumes at 2nd down and 4 at the Cougar 23-yard line. Movement along the San Marcos front. Draws a flag, and it'll be a legal procedure against the Rattlers.
Yeah, didn't see who moved, but we know this. Penalties can be drive killers. The Rattlers had all kinds of momentum here on the first possession of the ball game, and all of a sudden you basically take what was a 6-yard reception and you turn it into a 1-yard reception with that 5-yard flag.
Making it now 2nd down and 9 at the Cougar 28. Back to pass is Garcia. He'll try up the seam for his tight end. Ball is incomplete over the head of Ronnie Bettis, the tight end.
Defensively, a nice job of staying in the hip pocket of the receiver. That's Caden Holt, the junior, second-year starter. Team high 72 tackles on the year. Holt is all over the place. There he's in pass coverage.
A junior on this Cougar team. We'll see him next year. He is a force on the defensive side of the ball. 3rd down and 9 for San Marcos. Out of the gun, Garcia fakes the handoff, bat to pass, down the right side, and out of the hands of an outstretched arms of number 10, Diego Cruz. Too much on that one. Will fall incomplete, and now a decision here for Coach Soto, and it looks like they'll send out the field goal unit.
Darian Tanner was in coverage, and going back to the route run by Cruz, went right up the seam. It's hard to overthrow Cruz because of his speed, and you wonder if maybe the wind had something to do with it. What is about a 10-mile-an-hour wind the Rattlers are going with here?
Wind at the back of the kicker here, Daniel Marquez, as Canyon will take an early timeout here. Perhaps a little too early to be icing the kicker, so I got to think that Cougars defensively didn't like the look of it, and why not, Bill? We just saw an onside kick on the opening kickoff. Yeah. While you don't usually see a fake field goal attempt on 4th and 9, in a game like this where there's really no consequences either way, why not be sure about it if you're Coach Joe Lepsis?
I imagine both of these coaching staffs, and you bring up a good point, Ben, maybe we'll see some things you wouldn't see in week 3, week 6, but it being the final game. I visited with the San Marcos folks before the game tonight, and they said that Marquez, his range, he's very accurate, but his range is about 35 yards and in. But again, with this wind to his back, that you figure that has to add some distance to his kick.
This one will be placed at the 35-yard line, making it a 45-yard field goal attempt out of the hold of Garcia. The kick is on the way. Will it have the leg? And it is short and a little to the left, and that will go no good. Marquez came into tonight's ball game 4 of 5 on the year with a long of 41. And, Bill, I would say 45 just might be the outer limits.
Well, and it goes back to what I was told earlier 35 yards, that would have been 3 points for the Rattlers, but a little bit at this point, a little bit beyond his distance.
So this will bring on the Canyon Cougars in their first opening possession. First and 10 from their own 28. Handoff goes right up the middle, trying to move the pile, but not a lot going on. Maybe to the 31 is the ball carrier, Micah Williford.
Williford, an outstanding running back. You do your scouting report, and his numbers jump off. He has a team-high 874 all-purpose yards coming in. His rush for 560, 4 touchdowns on the ground.
Second down and 8 for the Cougars out of the pistol. It's Williford again. Nice cut at the line of scrimmage, trying the left side. Across the 35 to the 36 before being tackled by number 31, Andres Alonso. Good gain on second down will set up a very manageable 3rd and 2 for the Cougars on their opening possession, 0-0 in the first quarter with about 9:20 left to go.
Expect Williford to get it a lot. Had 28 rushes against Steele, 23 rushes against Judson earlier this season.
He'll get his 3rd handoff here, and he gets across the 40 now in open territory. Williford across midfield is tackled from behind before getting to the 39. It's enough for a Cougar first down, move the chain.
Yeah, right up the middle. It was good hat-on-hat blocking by New Braunfels Canyon up front, and Williford showing there he's got some speed. He can pick him up and put him down.
First and 10, Canyon now into San Marcos territory, the Rattler 39. Williford again, right side, good blocking, makes a cut at the 35 before getting into the secondary, is gain tackled at the 30, and I think that's where the referees will stop forward progress. It's going to be about a yard shy of the first down. Well, right now, Bill, I'm seeing just a tale of 2 different football programs. San Marcos almost throwing it on every possession, and for Canyon, it's been all on the ground here as 2nd and 1 is upcoming, and again, it's Williford, and Williford again breaking out of first contact, getting down to the 25, enough for a Cougar first down.
Yeah, nice job. Keeps his legs moving, and this is unofficial, mind you, but it's, 47 yards on the ground for Williford early on in the ball game.
He'll take a much-needed breath here as it's been all him on this opening drive for Canyon. Again, no score with about 8 minutes left in the first quarter.
Stevens and Leal, a couple of the guys up front doing a good job.
Handoff goes to the left side. It's still good business for Canyon running the football to the 20-yard line. And we'll see who got that carry for Canyon. I have it as 2, Jack Luce. And there's a flag down towards the end of the play. Did not see it during play. The referees are talking over the football at the 20-yard line. And we'll get the official indication here. Dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct, the indication against San Marcos. So the gain of 6 is good for Luce. And then afterwards, we'll tack on half the distance. And Canyon is in business here at the 10-yard line, 1st and goal.
2 flags for the Rattlers so far, 1 on their offensive drive to open the ball game that maybe killed that drive. And with the way Canyon is running the football right now, you don't want to help New Braunfels Canyon if you're San Marcos.
I don't think there's any maybe about it. Remember, that field goal missed short by about a yard, and they had 5 on penalties. They are on 1st and goal. Handoff Luce again. He's hit at the line of scrimmage, this time unable to break the grasp of Ryan Wilder, the 5'7", 160-pound junior linebacker.
Yeah, Ryan Wilder, nice job of filling the hole. Tied for 2nd on the team with 71 tackles. Tied for the team high, 3 sacks. And this season, San Marcos, one of the problems is they haven't gotten pressure on opposing quarterbacks. Only 13 sacks on the year for the Rattlers defensively.
Canyon taking their time now as they come up to the ball at the Rattler 9-yard line. Back in the game is Williford. He is to the left of Dallas Gomez. Gomez calling for the ball, has it. It's Williford. He'll try the right side. The Rattlers are there, but Williford keeping his feet churning across just shy of the 5-yard line. It's a gain of 3 and about 5 of that after contact, and it'll be a 3rd and goal upcoming for Canyon.
You said it. A couple of Rattlers stuck Williford. I mean, squared him up, good hits, and Williford was able to keep his pad level, his pads over his toes, and kept the legs churning. Good run. Not a lot to show for it, but a good run.
It's been a nice opening drive here for Canyon, but signs of stalling here. 3rd and goal from the 7 as the field is starting to shrink behind the Rattler defense. On 3rd and goal, rolling this way is Gomez. Fires the ball to the near side of the end zone, and that ball is incomplete. He's trying to find his target, Jacob Garcia, just unable to hook up. No harm done there, and Canyon will send out their field goal unit.
Wilder called his name earlier. Nice job of pressuring the quarterback. You've got a right-handed quarterback rolling to his left, throwing back to his left. Not an easy throw to make.
This will bring on Cameron Welsh, the junior kicker. This will be a 24-yard attempt from the far hash. Good snap, hold down, kick up on the way, and Welsh's attempt is good. 6:12 left to go in our opening period. Our score is Canyon 3, San Marcos 0. You're listening to the Cougars Network.
Do you know what's perfect? Wick Productions teaming up with the Canyon Cougars. No kidding. We take pause when we hear you cheer for replays on the scoreboard. And we love the feline we get when you visit CougarsNetwork.com. Don't forget to subscribe, right? Meow. Isn't that right? What? Cat got your tongue? I mew it.
Well, we've seen both teams send out their field goal kickers. It was a missed attempt by San Marcos on their opening possession, but for Canyon, able to drive it inside the 10-yard line, settle for a 24-yard field goal by Cameron Welsh. That caps a 9-play drive for the Cougars, and Bill, all done for the most part on the ground. Great job of blocking by that Cougar line.
No doubt about it. Moving furniture up front, Williford and Luce. Nice job of toting the rock. But I'll say this, Brian Webb, the defensive coordinator for the Rattlers, has to appreciate the way his defense was able to stiffen inside the red zone. I know you're biased, Ben, but you said special teams could play a factor.
You know, that is often overlooked. You look at the turnover ratio, we mentioned it, you think of it as a defense-offensive stat, but people forget about that third phase of the football game. It represents a third of the game. Let's not overlook it. And right now, Canyon winning that phase of the kickoff, of the special teams battle.
What do they say? 1 out of every 6 plays during a football game comes in special teams.
Special teams related to some sort. Canyon will try their version of an onside kick. San Marcos is able to recover it and try to make something of it is Moses Alva. And Alva goes across the 40. It'll be good field position for San Marcos. They'll have it 1st and goal with a flag down here to where the ball was marked at the 40. So I got to think some sort of illegal procedure there.
Yeah, somebody on the kick coverage unit a little too feisty. Back-to-back drives, the Rattlers are going to end up with tremendous starting field position.
With the onside kick that they recovered, they started at the Cougar 40, and this will be marked at midfield as they add 5 yards after the penalty. 1st and 10 for San Marcos and Alex Garcia. It was pretty much all passing attempts on that opening drive for San Marcos. Ball placed at the 50. He's in the pistol. 2 receivers either way. It's a handoff, and the Cougars are there to make a stop past the line of scrimmage. Benito Canales, the sophomore running back for San Marcos, ekes out about 2 now into Cougar territory.
Canales set it a sophomore, averaging 3.3 yards per carry, has 2 touchdowns on the ground this season.
2 receivers near side, one to the far for Garcia, who has Canales to his right. Back to pass and rolling to his right is Garcia on a deep out route. Pass is deflected as it got into the midst of Diego Cruz. Great play defensively for Canyon.
Yeah, it was a well-thrown football, no doubt about that. But as you said, the defensive back does a nice job of sinking his hips and making a break on the ball.
think that's 21, Williford. Oh, excuse me, 24, excuse me, Tendai Hanada. For Canyon, breaking up that pass attempt. It's now 3rd and 8 for San Marcos. Moving left to right across your smartphone app or YouTube app, and the pass is on the far side on 3rd down is incomplete. Intended for Takai Magid, might have been enough for a first down, and there might have been contact, but there's no flags down there. It'll be 4th down.
No, I'm going to give Darian Tanner tremendous credit. He arrived when the ball arrived, and talk about a tough assignment when you talk about going up against a guy like the 6', 200-pound senior Takai Magid.
So there was contact, but all fair and in time for the defender for Canyon. This will send on Alfredo Hernandez, the punter for San Marcos. Williford in deep receiving for the Cougars, standing at his 10. Hernandez averaging 31 a punt as this play is stopped. And delay a game, the indication there against San Marcos.
The Rattlers averaging 15.9 points per game this season, and when you think about the way this game has started, starting the first drive at the Cougars 40, the second drive at midfield, and no points to show for it.
And, as we think about that first drive for San Marcos, we didn't mention, how about a sudden change for Canyon's defense? You're not even expecting to go out there all of a sudden after the kickoff, and you have to go out there and you shut them out. Good response there for Canyon defensively. Hernandez sends this punt. It bounces at the 19. Williford gets away from it, and the ball is downed as we do have a flag at the Cougar 46-yard line near the line of scrimmage. The ball right now is downed at the Cougar 18. We'll check the flag.
Getting back to that onside kick, that's essentially a turnover.
Yeah, that's
doesn't
a good point,
go doesn't go in your turnover column.
Mm-hmm. But it robs Canyon of a possession and sets up San Marcos for good field position, all key ingredients to any turnover. As the referee is still sorting out the flags. Personal foul face mask against San Marcos. Another penalty against the Rattlers. So as the ball is down right now at the Cougar 18, we could expect that to be moved and better field position upcoming for the Cougars.
Yeah, essentially turns it into about a 15-yard punt for San Marcos. So if you're Mark Soto, you had to do it all over again. You're probably thinking, well, heck, if I had known this, we'd have gone for it on 4th down. Oh, wait, but they moved the ball back.
Well, the referees are...
He signaled the wrong way.
Oh, okay.
It's late in the season. It's a cold night, so half the distance to the goal. So that was against the Cougars.
Okay, so the referee did point towards San Marcos. This is not a broadcaster error. Let that be known.
What are those?
It does go against Canyon. So drop the ball back now at the 8-yard line. Handoff, Williford. I don't think it changes the play call. Look at him go across the 20, 25. Tripped up as he patches the 30-yard line. Might have been a touchdown-saving tackle for San Marcos there. Good run by Williford, and the Canyon Cougars are up-tempo. At the 32, they're back to the line of scrimmage. It's Williford again, another cut at the line of scrimmage, and he's across the 35 to the 37. And as the theme is here, it's taken about 6 or 7 Rattlers to stop his forward progress.
Yeah, and the big guys up front, you've got to give them credit again. Tremendous job. Sure, Williford's having a tremendous start to the game, but his guys up front are doing a good job.
2nd down and 5. Williford, another good cut at the line of scrimmage, is hit at the 39, falls across to the 41. Good pickup on 2nd down, sets up a 3rd and short. Tackled there by Moses Alva. That'll be 3rd and 2. Cougars catching their breaths a little bit, pull back the reins on the tempo. And a slight huddle at the 35, looking to the sideline for a play. 4:07 left to go in the first quarter. Cougars on top 3-0. 3 receivers to the right for Gomez. He'll take it. Quarterback sneak on the left side. Steps out of a tackle at the 42. Should have enough for a first down as he was able to get forward progress to the 43. And sure enough, it'll be a fresh set of downs for Canyon.
San Marcos walked the defense up, and you saw a couple of guys standing in the A gap, and That allowed the quarterback, Gomez, to have some room around the left corner. Did a nice job of lowering his head at the end of the run.
Last week versus Steele, throwing the ball, Gomez was 1 for 1 for 12 yards. I thought maybe a statistical anomaly until you realize Canyon really likes to get the job done on the ground, and they're showing that trend to be true the start of this ball game. Handoff, Williford again, and why not? A lot of running room across midfield into Rattler territory, across the 40. Again, a host of Rattlers needed to bring him down, but not before another Cougar first down to the 35.
And Williford's already closing in on 100 yards, and we still have 3:20 to go in the first quarter. I've got him at 97 yards on the ground, unofficially.
Oh, my goodness. Well, I believe it. He's been the bulk of the Cougar offense, and already this drive has moved from the 8-yard line to the Rattler 35 on first down. Movement in the backfield for Canyon. Take your pick on the indication here, but it will be false start. Checking in Michael Bassett, who's been a little bit of a do-everything for the Cougars. Started this year at quarterback. Has a big frame, 6'1", 205. They moved him to be complementary in the backfield, running the football as well.
Yeah, big guy, and you mentioned that one reception against Steele. It was Bassett on the receiving end.
Mm-hmm. So he's been a good team player. He's been moved from the quarterback position to more of a utility guy in the backfield. It'll be 1st and 15 for Canyon. Move the ball back to the Rattler 40. Gomez with the snap now here, rolling to the near side with the pump fake. Now he lets it go under pressure, and that's a good job just to get rid of the football with San Marcos bearing down on him. And there's some tussling here on the near sideline.
Yeah, some pushing and some shoving there, emotions. A.J. Gonzalez, one of the guys doing a nice job of getting pressure on the quarterback as he rolled out, and Moses Alva ended up the near sideline as well, and then some stuff you don't like to see, I'm going to leave it at that, happened along the sideline.
The flags stay in the pocket, though, from the referee, so this will keep it here at 2nd down and 15. Handoff, loose with it on the left side, across the 40 to the 35. Good set of running there by Jack Luce. Gets it past the original line of scrimmage to set up 3rd and 9.
Alva and Alonzo finally put an end to the run, but just a nice 1-2 tandem, Williford and Luce carrying the football for Canyon.
16 carries for 77 yards for Luce last week versus Steele. On 3rd and 9, he gets the handoff here. Tried to juke out of a tackle at the line of scrimmage, loses his footing and will fall down, gain of 1, but short by a large margin from the first down. It'll be 4th and about 8.
I think that was Alva again, along with Vidrine in on the stop, and I can't help but go back to the 1st down and 10 and the 5-yard penalty in this series of downs.
Penalty killer, a drive killer indeed. As, wasn't too long ago we were talking about how well this Cougar offense had been moving the football. And now here they are facing a 4th and 8 with the offense still on the field. Bat to pass is Gomez. He'll look into the flat for Williford, and that's in and out of his hands. Kind of an awkward situation there for Williford. Ball a little behind him as he had a twist and turn. Ball falls incomplete, and the Cougars turn it over on downs.
Right. The play fake froze San Marcos' defense, allowing Williford to leak out kind of in that wheel route. And I think if he had to do it again, I think Dallas Gomez would have done a nice job, better job of setting his feet and delivering a more accurate throw, because Williford, as everybody saw, was wide open.
Junior Gomez leading Canyon at the quarterback position. He'll have a good offseason to work on some things and prepare for his senior campaign. As it is here, it's 1st and 10. San Marcos at their own 33. End around, far sideline. Handoff to Cruz, and Cruz unable to turn the corner. He's dropped for a loss.
It looked like a jet sweep action there, and New Braunfels Canyon got such good penetration, able to push Cruz deeper and deeper into the backfield, allowing the pursuit to get over and finally make the play.
Cruz on the year, 20 carries, 194 yards and a touchdown coming into tonight's ball game. He's missed a bulk of the 2019 season, but you can see why the San Marcos coaching staff likes him. He is a speedster. On 2nd down and long, Garcia will roll here to the near side, lets it go, and the ball is incomplete. Not a Rattler in sight there by my eyes. Ball will fall harmlessly incomplete and set up 3rd and long.
It was Takai Magid again, if you want to call out an intended receiver, but defensively, Tristan Smith was there in the hip pocket of Magid. You have to know that during the week of prep, the Canyon coaches were saying, keep an eye on number 6.
He is here to the near side, is number 6, Magid. On a 3rd and long, 2 receivers to the far side for Garcia, who's bat to pass. He's looking to the far side. Flag is down. Ball is floated across the middle of the field, and a flag's coming as he overshot his intended receiver, Cruz. So now, Bill, 2 penalties to sort out, one in the backfield, one in the secondary.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a hold in the secondary. I didn't see what happened back at the LOS. It looked like the defensive back reached out and grabbed Cruz as he was cruising on by. Sorry.
And, it comes down to this. In the NFL, that's a bad penalty. In high school football, that's a good one, potentially.
More times than not, right? I'd rather give up the yardage on a penalty than give up 6 points on a touchdown.
Still waiting for the word from our official. Both fouls will go against Canyon. Lining up in the neutral zone is declined, and pass interference against Canyon is accepted. So move the ball to the Rattler 46-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for San Marcos, trailing 3-0 with 47 seconds left to go in the opening period. Ball on the far hash, 3 receivers to the near side for Garcia. Fake the handoff. Garcia will keep it, and he is met by a collapsing pocket. And a good defensive front there for Canyon to bring him down after a gain of 2. Making the tackle for Canyon is Ryan Johnson, the 6', 265-pound senior defensive tackle.
It was a good decision there by the quarterback to keep the ball, but good disciplined defense by the Cougars. Very good job with their eyes.
15 seconds left in the quarter. Could be the last play of the first frame. 2nd down and 8 from the Cougar 48. Quick hitch route on the far side. Cruz has it into Cougar territory before being flung down. Nick Albrecht, the defender there for Canyon, and time has run off the clock here. We played 1 at Cougar Stadium for Senior Night 2019. Our score, Canyon 3, San Marcos 0. This is the Cougars Network.
Is someone in here with us?
Ghost Hunters is back with a new team, better tech, and more answers.
This is my favorite part of the night.
We had to flee our home.
I've been doing this for 30 years. I chase the truth. Only with the truth can I truly help someone.
Whoa! Ghost Hunters returns Wednesdays at 9 on A&E.
Ben Campos, Bill Colhane with you, executive producer Bo Wick. Joining us here on Senior Night 2019, the Cougars offense is working for them. Their last drive kind of stalled out, unable to attempt a field goal. Right now they got a 3-0 lead. We're about to start the second quarter. But, Bill, what are your impressions here after that first quarter?
Well, Williford is doing a tremendous job of running the football. I don't think there's much argument about that, but the Cougars have found a way offensively kind of to stifle themselves once they stalled inside the 10-yard line on their first drive. And the second drive, that penalty kind of ended their drive. And San Marcos, you can expect San Marcos to continue to throw the football. Final game of the season isn't the time to change who you are.
That's right. 3rd down and 2 for San Marcos to start here the second quarter. Now moving right to left. Handoff. Canales trying the left side, and he might have fallen forward for enough for a first down. Across the 45 to the 44 it is. Just barely, but enough for first.
And what Canales does there is when he feels the contact, he spins out of it. And that gave him the forward progress that ultimately moves the chains. That's a nice piece of running by a young running back.
1st and 10 San Marcos. Out of the gun, Garcia, 2 receivers to the right. Moving into the wind are the Rattlers now. Zone read fake, back to pass Garcia. He'll try the middle of the field, and that ball is almost intercepted off the fingertips of a diving Tendai Hanada.
Diego Cruz is getting a workout. I hope his ankle's all better because that's what the 6th or 7th time we've seen him so far tonight just run that go route, whether it's seam, deep post, or whatever it is.
Tendai had a beat on him and just couldn't come up with the interception as the ball was out too far in front of him. It'll be
a flag. Sorry, Ben. A personal foul against the Cougars. Didn't see it.
Now, I'm not going to make an excuse here, Bill, but there's a difference between excuses and reasons. And we had some rain come through here and left a little gloss on the field. And the way the lights are reflecting on it, sometimes you miss the flags.
I want flags with lights.
Some type of illumination would be helpful. I'm sorry I missed that. It's a personal foul against Canyon. So it'll be 1st and 10, San Marcos at the Cougar now 34. They are driving, zone read, handoff, and Canales is met with a vengeance at the 32-yard line. Big stick there for Canyon defensively.
Yeah, defensively, it was Caden Holt. There's that guy again.
Yeah.
Canales goes about $143, 143 pounds, and there was no forward progress on that play.
Caden Holt, even afterwards, trying to find who laid the lick on him, and he was already back in near the defensive huddle, as if it was routine for him. 2nd down and 8 after the gain of 2. Garcia back to pass. He's hit as he throws. On the far sideline, it's hauled in by Magid at the 3. 2-1, touchdown San Marcos.
Tremendous throw there by the quarterback. Ryan Johnson got in, looked like he was virtually unblocked, and delivered a hit on the quarterback, Alex Garcia, as he was getting rid of the football, and it was absolutely on the money.
Perhaps just a half step too late to the quarterback. It looked like he was drilled as soon as he let go of the football. Takai Magid hauls it in from 32 yards out, and it'll be now Marquez on to attempt the extra point. The snap down, it kicks up, and it is good. 10:48 left to go before the half. Our new score is San Marcos 7, Canyon 3 here on the Cougars Network.
2, 1, here we go. Welcome to our NASCAR Race Hub.
From the green flag at Daytona to the checkers of Homestead.
In the car,
That close might get you on Race Hub.
under the hood, and hanging with the drivers.
A little love fest here. Gordon, Harvick, Canal, and of course the champ.
We've got the drama,
The heck out of the way.
the science.
2 levels of analysis and storytelling for the sport.
NASCAR Race Hub, weeknights at 6 Eastern on FS1 and the Fox Sports app.
It capped an 8-play drive, and we just been sitting around, Bill, waiting for a big play, and we finally got one. However, delivering the blow was San Marcos, a 32-yard touchdown pass. Alex Garcia to Takai Magid makes our new score San Marcos 7 and Canyon 3.
Garcia now 12 touchdowns through the air on the year. Takai Magid came in already with his team-high 7 touchdowns, adds 1 to that total. And Takai Magid, we've mentioned his name a few times. He has 57 catches for just under 780 yards coming in. Both of those totals are second in the San Antonio area, and I'm talking about all of 6A. A talented guy who had been quiet until that moment.
7-3 San Marcos, 10:40 left to go, second quarter. Ball's teed up for the Rattlers. Last time up, they onside it. They'll get another one here. The ball does not go the 10 yards, though. Will sit and die at the Rattler 48. And the flags will come out for, or is that even an illegal procedure? I just think you just mark it as a dead ball there at the 48, and it'll be Canyon's football, 1st and 10.
Yeah, I guess basically just down it.
Down it there. Nobody can touch it.
Unfortunate there, and I go back to the question I had for you earlier about how difficult is that pooch kick.
Yeah.
I think we saw it there. The first one was perfect, and it's not easy to repeat each and every time, huh?
Well, I'll tell you, they always equate it to golf, and sometimes when you go a little too easy on your swing,
I don't want to talk about golf.
We won't talk about your golf game here. Instead, 1st and 10 Canyon inside Rattler territory at the 49, fake the jet sweep, and it'll be Gomez. He fumbles the football as he got into Rattler territory. The Rattlers have jumped on it, and the refs say that they do have it. 1st and 10, San Marcos going the other way.
Yeah, tough there because it was a heck of a run by Gomez. Not sure who punched it out. I harken back to, as we previewed the ball game back in the pregame, how critical turnovers would be in this ball game.
And we could think of a couple now. Bill, bear with me here. Let's think of 3 times the onside kick to start the game. Canyon stole a possession from Canyon. San Marcos stole the possession from Canyon. Then on the second offensive possession for Canyon, turnover on downs where they couldn't convert after a penalty, and now a fumble on their 3rd possession.
So that, and now add the penalty equation, penalty variable to the equation.
1st and 10, San Marcos here, 10:35 in the second quarter. They have a 7-3 lead. The referees are going to stop play. Perhaps San Marcos too eager to get to the line of scrimmage. They have reset the clocks, and we are ready for play. 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far for Alex Garcia. Fake the handoff to Cruz. It's a run-pass option. Run becomes the option for Garcia as he gets upfield, is thrown down after he picks up about 6 on 1st down.
You said it. See the quarterback there, Garcia, showing some of his athleticism, and had Magid on this far side outside, and he's going to draw some attention.
Let's call it 5. 2nd down and 5 at the Rattler 46-yard line. Trips here to the near side for Garcia. Magid gets a short hop, drops the football. That's something you don't see from him every day. It'll go incomplete in 3rd and 5.
Setting up that receiver screen, had a couple of blockers out there, including Matt Dixon, and I think simply a case of Magid trying to run with the football before he secured it.
Sets up 3rd and 5 here, now under 10 minutes in the second quarter. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. That's Magid for Garcia. Points to the ground, gets the football. He's about to pass, looking towards Magid. No, it's a wide receiver screen to the far side. It's set up nicely for San Marcos. It's caught now into Cougar territory across the 25-20. And does he get to them? Yes, he does at the 2-yard line. He's going to be shy of the end zone, but Cannon Webb has San Marcos set up 1st and goal at the 2.
54-yard play. The quarterback, Garcia, looks back near side to Magid. And what does that do to your eyes if you're a Cougar defensively, right? It's going to take your attention away. And the screen was actually set up on the far side, and it was a tremendous pitch and catch. There was a missed tackle right at the point where the ball was caught, and then it was off to the races.
Tendai Hinata makes the touchdown-saving tackle, but it's 1st and goal. San Marcos officially at the 1. They do a fullback dive into the end zone. Touchdown, San Marcos. And I believe that's Nathan Henry, who lines up as a tight end. Looks like he's going in motion, settles under the center, takes the snap, and goes in from 1.
Yeah, a little trickery there by San Marcos. You can do things with your formations. You can do things with motion. And nice job. San Marcos has all the momentum at the moment. But, of course, Mr. Mo can change sides of the stadium in a hurry.
Oh, I think we've seen that swing back and forth already on 3 different occasions. And right now just sitting over on the sideline for San Marcos as Marquez is on to tack on the extra point. And it is good. 9:24 left to go before the half. Our new score, San Marcos 14, Canyon 3. You're listening to the Cougars Network.
They were like falling apart as sisters.
They had this dark side in them.
All sisters fight, but no one ever imagined that this would go that far.
This is the person that shot her sister.
Twisted Sisters, all new, Mondays at 10 on Investigation Discovery.
Watch Investigation Discovery, GVTC, Channel 520.
Well, Bill, I always preach turnovers and kicking game,
sure.
and those 2 sides of the football game has kind of reared its ugly head, and another turnover by Canyon results in points for San Marcos. This one a 1-yard touchdown run by Nathan Henry, and San Marcos has a 14-3 lead with the ball teed up. Another kind of high pooch kick. This one is fielded by Canyon at the 25, moving upfield at the 32. and it is dropped as we have some players going after it, a little extracurricular. 2 different areas of the field, referees in to stop it, and it'll be 1st and 10. Canyon, a lot of excitement there, but nothing changes on the scoreboard, 14-3 at the moment.
Yeah, Ben, you played, I played. I'm one of those where I'm a fan of play to the echo of the whistle and then it's over. Get lined up and play the next play. I know it's your final game for some of these guys. I know it's senior night. I know it's been at times a frustrating season. But play to the echo of the whistle and then shut it down. Get ready for the next play.
On 1st and 10, Williford, good hole here on the near side. Spins out a tackle at the 40. Flag comes in and should have enough for a 1st down pending the marker. Marker thrown by the back judge. We'll see what the indication is. Canyon just trying to grit it out, and they cannot afford to have a penalty kill another drive, and they will have to march the chains back, wipe off the 1st down. It is a hold against the Cougars, so take the 10 forward and mark it 10 back.
Yeah, and, I don't know how you feel about flags, about penalties, but that flag was thrown basically at the point of attack. It had an impact on the play is what I'm getting at. If that play had held, I had Williford now over 100 yards rushing, but he'll be, at least according to our numbers up here, below the century mark.
It is a spot foul, so it will make it a 1st down and 13, the rare 1st and 13 for the Cougars. Gomez shouting out orders to his offensive line. He has 1 receiver left, 1 right. Handoff goes to Williford, who has another good hole across the 35-40, spun forward to the 41. A good run there by Williford once again.
And he's over 100 yards, and nice job Tony Cooper leading up inside, was the lead blocker and did a tremendous job of leading the way.
2nd down and 2. Cougars quick to the line. Williford again gets a good block, bounces out to the right side across midfield into Rattler territory, lowers his shoulder and is knocked out of bounds. It'll depend where the referees marked him. He fell forward to the 40, and the near side referee has him marked at the 45 into San Marcos territory. Good run anywhere you mark it. 1st down for Canyon.
I have 13 rushes, 129 yards for Williford so far, unofficially.
And I would say unofficially about 90% of the Cougar offense as he gets it again on 1st down. Again, taking 3 or 4 Rattlers with him. It takes half the defense just to stop his forward progress. It's a gain of 3, but it's a hard-fought 3 yards.
Good physical run. Not the biggest guy out there is Williford, but I like the way the junior moves his feet. I like his pad level, and I like the way he finishes runs.
The coaches have him listed as 5'10", 165, which makes me believe he's probably 5'8", 150, the way coaches kind of fudge the numbers here. But he runs as if he's closer to 200 pounds. When you see 4 or 5, even 6 Rattlers needed to bring him down. On 2nd down and 6, it's Williford again, breaking through tackles and look at him go across the 40 to the 35. It's enough for a Cougar 1st down.
It's almost as though Williford just heard our conversation up here in the booth, because everything we just described was epitomized in that run alone. Nice job of getting to the hole. Good job of getting north-south. He feels initial contact, and then he keeps the legs moving.
You and I have been around the game for a while. I have never seen a running back listed at 165 pounds who doesn't go down on first contact. I can't think of a run that Williford's had in this ball game where first contact has gotten him down.
He delivers the blow, doesn't he?
He is the hammer to the defensive nail. 1st and 10. It's loose this time, and he has a big hole across the 30. He takes 3 Rattlers to drill him down. He gets shy of the 25. I think they'll give him to the 26. It's a good run on 1st down.
A lot of tackles being made in the secondary for San Marcos. Not a good sign for the Rattlers at the moment. Now, some confusion defensively as a Rattler was shaken up on the play.
Dylan Basham, the defensive lineman, is injured and just trying to make it to the far sideline. The Cougars were up at the line of scrimmage ready to go, but they will have to halt play for the injured player. And he is back on the Rattlers sideline.
Is there a better name for a defensive player than Basham?
Just thinking that. Basham. That's a good one. And It is 2nd down and 4 for Canyon. 6.5 left to go before the half. Canyon driving. They trail 14-3. Loose again. He'll try the left side. This time nothing doing. Sure and better tackling by San Marcos. No gain on 2nd down.
Good job there defensively. The Rattlers. Assignment sound. Good job filling the gaps.
Now you see Canyon kind of take their foot off the gas pedal a little bit, want to be more sure about this. It is 3rd and 3 at the Rattler 27. Handoff, loose, right side. He's got a first down across the 20 and more. 10-5, touchdown Canyon.
Tremendous job. We're going to have a late flag. It's not going to nullify the touchdown, however. Downfield, Jacob Garcia, Michael Bassett, and a couple of the offensive linemen just opened up a gaping hole. Luce got to about the 20-yard line, saw the daylight, put his foot in the ground, his right foot, and then he was off to the races.
We'll check the flag here. And the touchdown will stand,
sure.
So it'll be after the play. Personal foul against San Marcos, the indication, which, you know, I was holding my breath there for a second because for the 2nd or 3rd time tonight, Michael Bassett was in a little tussle match away from the play, and I think, at least I thought that was going to be the call. Instead, this will go against San Marcos. The touchdown stands, and we'll have the extra point attempt for Canyon upcoming. Ball placed at the 3. The offense is on the field. They'll go for 2 here. Loose, has it, right side, and this time San Marcos is there. So Coach Lepsis elects to roll the dice, and it comes up snake eyes, pardon the pun, as the Rattlers stop Canyon there. Our new score, and Bill, let's just keep it here with 5 minutes and 52 seconds left to go before the half. It's San Marcos 14 and Canyon 9. We talked about momentum, swinging back and forth. Now starting to come back over to the Canyon side. It's what they needed, a great offensive drive.
No doubt about it. Williford started the drive, pounding the pavement, running really well as he has since opening kickoff. And then, I don't know, when New Braunfels Canyon goes back and looks at that touchdown run, that was nearly flawless execution in terms of blocking and loose, getting to the hole, seeing the daylight, and getting north-south in a hurry.
The offensive line, I think, has just played a tremendous game for Canyon, whether it's Williford or Luce running the football. It seems like once they get past the line of scrimmage, they have either a left or right cut to make, but a decision to make because there's not been a lot of contact at the line of scrimmage. The offensive line for Canyon has done a great job at winning the point of attack on that side of the football.
And I think that's sometimes lost on both fans, offensive linemen, players, whomever. Every play doesn't have to be a pancake block to result in a positive offensive play. Sometimes all you have to do is occupy your guy for a 1-1,000, 2-1,000, and with running backs like Williford and Luce, that just gives them enough time to see the daylight and run to it.
It's the difference of running into a bear hug and slipping out of an arm tackle at the end of it. And right now it's been more of the latter, especially on that drive for Canyon. It capped a 7-play drive, a 27-yard touchdown run by Jack Luce. And Cameron Welsh will have the ball teed up for the Cougars at the Rattler 45. I'm sure he would just drive this into the back of the end zone. A squibbler, that hits an up man at the 5. The return man is Cruz. He'll have to make something of it. Spins out of the tackle at the 15. And I don't think they're still trying to push a little rugby scrum near the 20-yard line. They'll stop forward progress at the 19.
So the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on the touchdown run to end the drive is the reason that Welch was kicking off from the Rattler 45. And you said it, San Marcos somewhat fortunate that squibber that was really a worm killer, a worm burner.
Worm burner.
Cruz fortunate that when it hit him, it landed, about a yard in front of Cruz where he could at least scoop it up.
Weird shaped ball. If you could hit it nicely, it's kind of can knuckle on you a little bit, and then you never know. Again, another roll of the dice there by Coach Lepsis.
If it had deflected off Cruz, it would have been exciting.
You know what? It got off the face mask, and that is a variable in and of itself, what the ball does when it hits the face mask. First and 10 San Marcos, but they will take a timeout here. 5:54 left before the half. San Marcos still holding on to a lead, 14-9, but momentum over here on the homestands wearing red. It is senior night 2019 here at Cougar Stadium, and we thank you for being with us here on the Cougar Network.
And Ben, as you pointed out, we talked about it isn't just these football seniors. It isn't just the football players. You and I played football, but as you and I know, we remember, we see it as we've been covering Texas high school football. It is the band. It is cheer. It is the dance squad. It's the parents and others who football, Friday Night Lights has been such an important part of their lives, regardless of what role you have on game day.
Weather getting down to the upper 40s. You got Worst Fest going on, and two teams that have combined for 18 losses on the year, and yet you got a great attendance here at Cougar High School here for Senior Night 2019. First and 10, San Marcos, zone read, and the Cougars are there to drop the running back for a loss. Cruz is dropped. They'll make it a loss of 2. About 3 or 4 Cougars at the point of attack.
San Marcos somewhat fortunate there. There was a problem on the quarterback back exchange, and Cruz almost dropped that football, it looked like. It looked like Cruz hit him in the belly, and he had to reach down around his knees, his thighs, to secure the football.
Second down and 12 from the Cougar 17-yard line for the Rattlers. Little hitch route to Magid on the near side is incomplete, low and away. From Garcia, it'll set up 3rd and long, and Bill, last 2 possessions for San Marcos ended in long drives and 2 touchdowns. So it really needs to be a statement drive by the defense, and so far they're up to the task.
No doubt about it. And it started, usually offensively, if you can't, get something going, get some momentum on their first down, a drive can self-destruct, and I think that's the case here with San Marcos.
It was a loss of 2 and then an incompletion, and quickly we're at 3rd and long. Garcia rolling to the right, and the pass is delivered, flag down, caught is Magid. Across the 30, we'll check the flag here. The defender on the near side was Bolu Basis, and he is hoping and indicating for a pass interference offensively.
Yeah, Magid, I don't know, at the top of the route, I saw his arms extend a little bit. Now, was it enough to warrant a flag? I don't know. Doesn't matter what I think.
The man in the white hat says it was. And so pick up the flag, erase the first down, and 3rd and long becomes 3rd and longer. I think they'll mark off half the distance here against San Marcos.
It takes away a 15-yard pass and catch.
Well, I can imagine the frustration by Magid. There's been a couple of times, even on short routes, that the ball has gone in and out of his hands. He's uncharacteristically dropped the football. Little things like moving your head upfield before you're securing the catch. So I could understand the frustration trying to break off your route, create that separation to get a reception. But the flag comes, making it now 3rd and 22, and Canyon is going to take a timeout here as Cougars coaching staff senses a big play here. Just now under 5 minutes before the half, with the Cougars trailing 14-9.
There's 2 head coaches tonight. We've been mentioning Mark Soto for San Marcos, hired to take over the Rattlers back in March of 2012 after a long career at Converse Judson down in the greater San Antonio area. Coach Soto played at Judson for D.W. Rutledge once upon a time, and of course the head coach of New Braunfels Canyon, Joe Lepsis, in his 2nd season, was previously at Wiley East. Everybody knows his background. Started the football program there and really built an outstanding program at Wiley East.
And I think what they want to do here, of course, Canyon is been around for a while. I mean, this isn't a startup, but really get the sense that here at Canyon Bill, they want to hit the reset button on the culture in the football program. And while you're not building the program up from scratch, you are looking to take and put a new identity on this football program. And I think Coach Lepsis is doing a good job despite what the record may reflect here in 2019.
I remember back in the aughts, 2000, New Braunfels Canyon had a really good program here. Bradley George was playing here.
Trying to get back to that status. It's 3rd and 21. San Marcos looking to air it out. Magid has a step, but the ball is overthrown. will go incomplete. Now I'm getting in the habit of scanning, looking for the flags. There are none. And San Marcos will send out their punter, Alfredo Hernandez.
And a nice job defensively, running stride for stride, was Robert Crandella Jr., 40 tackles on the year, had 14 tackles against Galen Zimmerman's Dripping Springs Tigers earlier this year, and he was right there, stride for stride with Magid.
Williford standing at the Rattler 42. Hernandez in the A of Cougars in the end zone.
Into the wind.
Low snap. Fumbling the football is Hernandez. He's going to pick it up and run. He'll lower his shoulder at the 10, trucks over a Cougar player, but he'll have to eat it, Bill. It's 4th and 21, and Hernandez just tries to pick it up after the bad snap. And it'll be 1st and 10 for Canyon with great field position.
Have we said yet tonight how important special teams could, what impact it could have on the outcome of tonight's game? It's easy because you and I are up here in the press box. It's about 70 degrees and we feel good. Nobody's coming after us. But I think San Marcos still had a chance there to punt that ball away.
I think so too. Ball placed at the 15-yard line in Rattler territory. Handoff, Williford, ball's out. He fumbles the football, and San Marcos has it. Oh, my goodness. This has been a roller coaster game of emotion. Just when it looked like Canyon could seize the momentum in this football game, Williford, of all players, puts the ball on the ground. And number 31, Andres Alonso, comes up with the football.
Yeah, Alonso, team-high 88 tackles coming into the ballgame, was just fortunate there. That's why coaches tell you, always rally to the football. You never know what good things can happen. And it was a good stick to initially jar the ball free and a good job of getting onto the football by Alonso.
All this sudden change has got me exhausted. I can only think what the players are going through down on the field.
Well, the Cougars were set up nicely, though.
Oh, it's an opportunity. I'm going to put a star next to that drive because that could be a game-defining mistake. San Marcos will get it 1st and 10 from their own 14, moving right to left. They have a wide receiver screen with Magid. The Cougars sniffed it out, almost picked it off. Magid holds on. It'll be a gain of 1 to the 15, but the Cougars were there and ready.
Yeah, no doubt about that. The third catch tonight for Magid. 3 catches for 40 yards, but remember, 32 of them came on the touchdown grab earlier in the ball game.
And he's had some drops, too. You could tell he's definitely a
misfires.
Mainstay. Yeah, some overthrown, as well as he's had some steps on this Cougars secondary. He's trying to put his thumbprint on the game. 2nd down and 9 from the Cougar 15. 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far. Fake the handoff. Garcia rolling to the right. Cougars are there to sniff it out. Great tackle at the point of attack by Tristan Smith. Prevents Garcia from getting upfield. It's a gain of 1.
Getting back to Kai Magid, the senior, had a career-high, don't adjust your phone, 17 receptions against Smithson Valley a week ago. That's a lot.
138 yards.
That's a lot.
That's a lot against a good Smithson Valley team. And it's 3rd and long for San Marcos. They have a 14-9 lead with about 3 minutes left to go before the break. Back to pass. Garcia rolling to the near side. He's under pressure. He flings it looking for Magid. Magid adjusts, makes the tackle and slips, makes the catch and slips out of a tackle. Now into Cougar territory across the 20. 15, 10-5, diving effort to stop him is not enough. Into the end zone to Kai Magid. Touchdown, San Marcos.
85 yards. Again, no broadcaster jinx. We were just talking about Magid and how it's been quiet. And with a guy with a talent level like he possesses, all it takes is an opportunity. And as you watch Garcia, I could almost read his mind, Ben, where he saw man coverage and he said, I trust my guy number 6 to make a play. And he did.
Just threw it up there.
Right.
It was underthrown. Magid made the adjustment before Tanner could. And the extra point by Marquez is no good. He actually missed it, pushed it to the left. And so our score, with 2 minutes and 58 seconds left before the break, is San Marcos 20, Canyon 9. You're listening to the Cougars Network.
Good things come to those who wait. At QVC, we say better things come now. Get it now. Pay over time. No extra charge with Easy Pay. The best news, you can use it on everything. Yes, everything. All the great brands you love and new products you'll discover. So why wait? It's easy pay every day. Now through September 30th. Shop QVC and QVC.com.
Bill, when you take a look at the district schedule, this game might be overlooked with everything else going on. But I'll tell you, this is an exciting football game we got here at Cougar Stadium.
We see this. We've already seen it so far in this ball game. We haven't even gotten to halftime, but there are some really talented football players out here. And I go back to the touchdown grab a moment ago. Actually, we'll wait till after the kickoff.
Hernandez has the ball teed up. It's high. It's short. Canyon will take it at the 33-yard line. Reversing the field is the up man. He's got some running room as he cuts back across the 50-yard line. Number 88, Kyle Smith, the return man for Canyon. And another short field for the Cougars as they try to seize back momentum in this football game before the break. It's 20-9 San Marcos with 2:46 left to go before intermission.
Smith with his 6th kickoff return of the season. But getting back to my point, young quarterbacks sometimes don't trust their eyes. And another mistake young quarterbacks make at times is they feel like the receivers have to be wide open to throw them the ball. That's not always the case, especially when you have a guy like Magic.
Just throw him open, let him go get it. It's 1st and 10 for Canyon at the 48. Handoff loose. He'll go up the middle, and he is stopped by a host of Rattlers. No gain on 1st down.
See the defense for the Rattlers at the moment, some pep in their step.
2nd down and 9, call it. Loose will take it, tries the right side. Good cut to avoid a tackle. Across the 45, just shy of the 40. They'll give him to the 41, a good gain on 2nd down.
You said it. It was a nice cut there by Loose, and it came against a really good defender like Ryan Wilder, 2nd on the team in tackles.
3rd and short, it's Loose again. It's the right side again. Flag down as he turned the corner. It looks like a hold perhaps. Right now he has enough for a 1st down. We'll check the penalty. The Cougars trying to go up-tempo as we approach now 2 minutes as the clock stops here in the 2nd quarter. Holding is the indication against Canyon. Bill, we should note that San Marcos kicked off to start this half. It was an onside kick, which they recovered, but Canyon will be kicking off to start the 2nd half. It makes this drive that much more important if you're looking to crawl into this ball game.
I agree, and I'll add this factor as well. Here in the 2nd quarter, the Cougars have the wind to their back, so if they're going to throw the football, and we know they're run-oriented, if they're going to throw, now's the time to do it.
And they're going to do it now with Gomez back in the backfield, flag down. He heaves it down the field. The ball is in and out of the hand, double covered and juggled is Callan Farr, the intended receiver. We have a flag down near the line of scrimmage. We'll check it. Face mask, the indication against San Marcos.
It was Cannon Webb down there, one of the Rattlers in coverage, breaking up the pass. And Ben, I'm concerned for you, my friend. I'm worried that later on tonight, 2, 3 in the morning, you're going to wake up and hear flag on the play.
That isn't my 3-month-old screaming at home. It could be that.
Either or. Either or.
It is 1st down Canyon, 15 yards marked off. So while it looked like this drive was going backwards, a help from the penalty man sets Canyon up 1st and 10 from the Rattler 33. Gomez looking to pass. He finds Bassett, who lowers his shoulder at the 30, still rumbling forward to the 29 before being stopped just shy of the 1st down. Nice pitch and catch. And Canyon now inside the 25.
I like the creativity. It looks like Bassett is going to be like the lead blocker, maybe on a power around the edge, and then he releases and gets open.
Loose, the ball carrier on the left side, has enough for a Cougar 1st down. Only a gain of 2, but needed 1.
That's good enough for a Cougar 1st down.
Offensive lineman for the Cougars again up front. Nice job. Hat on hat kind of stuff. Saw Ryan Johnson there.
Loose getting some good work here on this drive. He sits down, Williford back in to the left of Gomez, takes the handle here, breaks out of a tackle at the line of scrimmage, goes forward across the 20 before 4 Rattlers push him back, gets to the 18 as we are approaching 1 minute to go before the half. Canyon looking to strike as they trail 20-9.
Saw Matthew Liao pulls there, and he's got the kick-out block on the defensive end, and Williford cuts up inside of that block to get good yardage.
2nd down and 6 from the Rattler 18. Williford to the left of Gomez. Gomez rolling to the right side. He pulls a football down, and he is drilled pot back at the 20-yard line. It is Ryan Wilder. We've called his name a couple of times. The middle linebacker making a big hit.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You can see he's a really good football player. The junior had 11 tackles, Ben, against New Braunfels, 15 against Laredo United earlier this season.
Take a timeout here as Canyon does. This is their last one, by the way, before the break. 38 seconds left. And, Bill, I'm pretty exhausted. This has been a back-and-forth wild game here.
You think you're exhausted. What about the white hat?
No, he is going back and forth. They're throwing flags everywhere. It's been nothing. Flags and special teams plays and fumbles. And
you mentioned Worst Fest. Yeah, this has been a celebration.
Has it ever? This is worst WURST, a game of the year for us. And it's been a good one. It's been thoroughly entertaining.
It has. When you're talking about guys like Williford, like Magid, the Loose for New Braunfels Canyon doing a nice job. You can see the quarterback Dallas Gomez, the junior, trying to lead his team. And we say juniors and we say sophomores. You know that the underclassmen want to win this game for the seniors, right?
We have mentioned a lot of underclassmen have been the main players in this ball game. It is 3rd and 8 at the 20. Going in are the Cougars. Bat to pass Gomez. He's in trouble. He spins out of pressure. Still looking to do something with it. He's going backwards, though. Finally tripped up. He just ran out of time and ran out of space. Back to the 35-yard line. That is killer, Bill. That might have knocked him out of field goal range.
Yeah, exactly right. And I go back to the fact that he's trying to make a play for his team, right? Trying to keep the play alive. The unfortunate thing there for Gomez is the San Marcos Rattlers were relentless in their pressure, rallying to the football.
Clock's ticking down, and I think that just killed the drive in more ways than one. 3-2, Canyon just now getting to the line. They are out of timeouts, and that effort is futile. They will go into the locker room. San Marcos stiffening up when they needed to the most, and they get it done here.
Ben, I know you've been taking special notes on this game. Make note of the way that drive ended. When this is all said and done here in a couple hours.
Circle, star, and highlighted on the drive chart. We've reached halftime here at Cougar Stadium. Our score, San Marcos 20, Canyon 9. We'll step aside when we come back. Halftime festivities here on the Cougars Network.
Do you know what's perfect? Wick Productions teaming up with the Canyon Cougars. No kidding. We take pause when we hear you cheer for replays on the scoreboard. And we love the feline we get when you visit CougarsNetwork.com. Don't forget to subscribe, right? Meow. Isn't that right? What? Cat got your tongue? I mew it.
Is someone in here with us?
Ghost Hunters is back with a new team, better tech, and more answers.
This is my favorite part of the night.
We had to flee our home.
I've been doing this for 30 years. I chase the truth. Only with the truth can I truly help someone.
Whoa! Ghost Hunters returns Wednesdays at 9 on A&E.
They were like falling apart as sisters.
They had this dark side in them.
All sisters fight, but no one ever imagined that this would go that far.
This is the person that shot her sister.
Twisted Sisters, all new, Mondays at 10 on Investigation Discovery.
Watch Investigation Discovery, GBTC, Channel 520.
Loyalty to the green leaf name is dying and it needs tending. I'm so tired of having this secret. I love you, James. As far as being in love, none of you care about me. The key to getting this church back? We have to leave room for God.
Watch OWN, GBTC, Channel 555.
come to those who wait. At QVC, we say better things come now. Get it now. Pay over time. No extra charge with Easy Pay. The best news? You can use it on everything. Yes, everything. All the great brands you love and new products you'll discover. So why wait? It's Easy Pay every day. Now through September 30th. Shop QVC and QVC.com.
Cool, buddy. Ben Campos, Bill Culhane with you here at Cougar Stadium. Executive producer Bo Wick. We're with you here on senior night here at Canyon High School. Our score at the half, San Marcos 20, Canyon 9. Bill, one of the questions that I often get is what's your favorite Beatles song? What type of food do you like? And I always say it depends on my mood. So the type of question that's loaded I pose to you is...
Uh-oh. Here I go.
What have you noticed in the first half?
Well, to be fair, we've talked about at length, and I think rightfully so, and it wasn't just hyperbole. We know what these two teams have faced here in the 2019 season. We've talked about quality of opposition. But at the same time, as I've watched the first two quarters, I think we've seen some of the things that have resulted in both of these teams struggling to find wins in 2019. You know, sometimes you can indeed be your worst enemy out on that football field. And how does it come? How does it happen? It comes in the form of turnovers. It comes in the form of missed assignments. It comes in the form of penalties. And to add to the penalties, the timing of penalties. We've seen penalties end drives because it's hard for these two offenses at this point in time, you know, to sustain drives. Well, there's a huge difference between second down and 8+ and second down and 4+. And, man, when you get that 5-yard penalty, which maybe seems inconsequential, but if it turns a 1st and 10 to 1st and 15, or if it turns a 2nd and 2 to a 2nd and 7, even the good teams, the really good teams have trouble, you know, converting those things and keeping drives alive and ultimately putting the ball into the end zone. And special teams, you know, I know we'll talk more about special teams, but when you think about how, yes, indeed, special teams have impacted tonight's football game so far.
You know, penalties might not have taken points off the scoreboard, but they've taken first downs away, and I think that's been a bugaboo for both sides. And I think about what could be for Canyon, and perhaps this is a bigger conversation for 2019 as a whole. But you've seen this offense, especially behind Micah Williford, being able to move the football. But you look at their drive chart, a field goal because a drive stalled in the red zone, turnover on downs, a fumble, finally starting to put it together, a 8-play drive that ends in a touchdown run by Jack Luce. But then after that, fumble, bad mistakes down the stretch on your last possession that ends the half when you're unable to even get a field goal attempt. And so it is a mixed bag of, ooh, hey, there's some bright things here that Canyon could build upon, and then like you just can't do those things. And you know, we're riding this wave for the first time in 2019. I could understand perhaps the frustration in the locker room if this has been going on all year.
Well, I can tell you another difference, and everything you said is absolutely true in my opinion, but it also, I think, speaks to the relative youth on both of these teams. Yes, it is senior night, but as you look up and down these rosters for San Marcos, and the numbers may be off by a little bit, but 18 juniors and 9 sophomores on varsity for San Marcos. For New Braunfels Canyon, 25 juniors and 3 sophomores. Okay, that's one thing, but I want to add to it. A number of those guys, juniors and sophomores, play huge roles on these two football teams. It's one thing to tell mom, to tell your girlfriend, yeah, I'm on varsity, but a lot of these juniors and sophomores are playing pivotal positions for both the Cougars and the Rattlers, and I think we see some of that as well. There's nothing like a vet, right? There's nothing like that grizzled senior who's maybe his 3rd year on varsity, and he's out there. I look at Converse Judson's roster. I look at Smithson Valley, Clemens, and Steele's roster, and what is it? It's a lot of those gray beards, those veterans that are getting things done for those football teams, right?
I look in perhaps cementing your point here, majority of the Cougar offensive line is seniors, and I think they're playing well. They are the bright spot of this Cougar line, or excuse me, of this Cougar offense. It has been going well because they are playing well. But behind them, it's all juniors.
The skill guys.
Dallas Gomez, the junior. Michael Williford's a junior. Jack Luce, Michael Bassett, they're all juniors. So getting those to mesh well, I think, is perhaps why we've seen some good explosive plays, but also, one step forward, two step back type of things. But all in all, it's been an entertaining first half. Right now, it's just San Marcos on top, 20-9.
Yeah, and also, and maybe this is the exclamation point to this segment of the halftime show, but one thing the Rattlers have done in the first half that the Cougars haven't quite been able to do, apart from, I guess you could argue, Luce's touchdown run, but the two big plays by Magic that resulted in touchdowns. You don't have to sustain a drive if you throw the football downfield and hit Takai Magic. He catches it at midfield, breaks a tackle, and takes it to the house.
And you mentioned at the time it was a quarterback recognizing one-on-one coverage. Just throw it up there, and if you're a coach, you don't draw it up that way. But you teach him, hey, if you recognize it, just see if the guy could go up there and make a play, and he did. On the other side of the football, we've seen Magic being overthrown, underthrown, drop passes on simple hitch routes that hit him in the numbers or in the hand. So one thing that strikes me about the San Marcos team as we look at their season, again, 0-8, 0-6 in district, is 0-9, 0-6 in district. What could have been if Diego Cruz would have played the entire year? As you mentioned, he struggled a little bit with injury. They've used him in the backfield today. They've used him on end rounds. And what a 1-2 punch that could be if Cruz is able to go the whole year on the other side of Magic.
You think about the options that offensive coordinator Victor Sierra could have had, right? Because we've already seen it, especially in the first quarter. We see what kind of attention Magic warrants, and rightfully so. We've seen the double coverage. If you remember, it was the one receiver screen, that kind of tunnel screen that San Marcos hit that set up a score. It was because it was the head and shoulder fake to Magic on the far side that gets New Braunfels Canyon eye discipline degraded and opens things up across the middle of the field for a teammate.
Sometimes it's the misdirection that you need in order to open up things on the other side of the field. Right now, the sounds in the background, that of the San Marcos High School or Rattler Marching Band, as the band's marching competition has come to an end, but they are still performing for us their UIL show, and we thank them for that. A little bit later, we will have the Canyon High School Marching Band perform their show for us here on senior night. Again, our score at the half, it is San Marcos 20 and Canyon 9. We'll take a break here on the Cougars Network. When we come back, more halftime festivities from Cougar Stadium. I'm Ben Campos with Bill Colhane and with you as we thank you for spending your Friday night with us. This is the Cougars Network.
Good things come to those who wait. At QVC, we say better things come now. Get it now. Pay over time. No extra charge with Easy Pay. The best news, you can use it on everything. Yes, everything. All the great brands you love and new products you'll discover. So why wait? It's Easy Pay every day. Now through September 30th. Shop QVC and QVC.com.
Sunday nights on Access TV. Access TV's new series, Paul Schaefer Plus One.
It's a Howard Stern show, but no strippers.
Paul sits down with music's finest, followed by an all-new series, Brian Johnson's A Life on the Road. Brian sits down with music greats.
Just too good. Fabulous.
Sunday Night Rocks. It all starts 8/7 Central on Access TV.
If you bank at Frost, we'll help keep your money safe.
If you use your Frost debit card, the chip will make it more secure. If there's a suspicious transaction on your card, you'll get an alert. If you do, you can freeze your card with the Frost app. If you lose your phone, Touch ID login will help keep the app secure. Of course, if all you need is help from people who care, we've got that too.
Is someone in here with us?
Ghost Hunters is back with a new team, better tech, and more answers.
This is my favorite part of the night.
We had to flee our home.
I've been doing this for 30 years. I chase the truth. Only with the truth can I truly help someone.
Whoa! Ghost Hunters returns Wednesdays at 9 on A&E.
Sunday nights on Access TV. Access TV's new series, Paul Schaefer Plus One.
It's the Howard Stern Show, but no strippers.
Paul sits down with music's finest, followed by an all-new series, Brian Johnson's A Life on the Road. Brian sits down with music greats.
Just too good. Fabulous.
Sunday Night Rocks. It all starts 8/7 Central on Access TV.
Ben Campos, Bill Colhane with you here at Cougar Stadium. The San Marcos Rattler Marching Band is exiting to our right here. The Cougar Marching Band is settling in for their halftime show here on senior night, so we'll step aside here in the broadcast booth and send you down to the field for the sights and sound of halftime from the Canyon High School Cougar Marching Band. Again, our score at the half, it is San Marcos 20 and Canyon 9.
Ladies and gentlemen, Canyon High School proudly presents the 2019 15-time national champion, Canyon High School Aristocats. The Aristocats are under the direction of Taylor Goodman and assisted by Trish Durham. The social officers are Lane Amon, Lily Gabrielski, Priscilla Letcher, Madison Villegas. The dance officers are Junior Lieutenant Taylor Morgan, First Lieutenant Emily Gabrielski. The Aristocat captain is Leah Gonzalez. The dancer of the week is Lily Gabrielski. The bob of the week is Bubba Amon. Now sit back and relax as the Aristocats and their special guests perform a bob and Sue routine to I Love Rock and Roll. would like to take the time to honor our band and Aristocats seniors. We are proud of their devotion to the Canyon Cougar Band and wish to share our appreciation for their time, effort, and impact on this program. Please help me recognize our band seniors as they are in.
Again, we are at the half here at Cougar Stadium, and our score at the break is San Marcos 20 and Canyon 9. You are listening to Sights and Sounds of Halftime, as it is senior night and senior band members are being recognized here at Canyon High School. We return you now to the Canyon High School Marching Band.
Marcus plans to attend UTSA to pursue computer science. Meadow Cantu, escorted by Patricia and Trey Cantu. Meadow plans to attend TOU to get a pastoral degree as well as a master's in accounting. Evan Cardenas, escorted by Ryan and Courtney Thurman. Evan plans to attend Texas Tech University to study biological sciences. Benjamin Crockett, escorted by Susan and Ryan Crockett. Benjamin plans to attend Texas A&M University to get a degree in business. Cameron Delberto, escorted by Stephanie and Andy Delberto. Cameron enlisted in the Army National Guard and plans to attend university to study criminal justice. Megan Dominguez, escorted by Jennifer and Mark Dominguez. Megan plans to go to Texas State University in San Marcos, Texas to major in journalism. Lacey Dowdy, escorted by Lindy and Lance Dowdy. Lacey plans to attend college and major in nursing. Brandon Dooley, escorted by Priscilla and Ken Dooley. Brandon plans to attend Texas State and major in marketing. Cole Duhon, escorted by Emmy and Edwin Duhon. Cole plans to attend Texas Lutheran University to study music education. Aiden Fager, escorted by Wendy Hoyt and Roger Fager. Aiden plans to attend Texas A&M and major in history. Cooper Ferguson, escorted by John Beckett. Cooper plans to go into computer programming. Morgan Garcia, escorted by Mike and Stacey Garcia. Morgan plans to attend Texas State University to study civil engineering. Shannon Grant, escorted by Victoria Graham Alma. Shannon plans to go to a 4-year college with major in criminal justice and minor in psychology. Lily Griffin, escorted by Tracy Griffin and Dickie White. Lily plans on going to Texas A&M University in Corpus Christi to be a neonatal nurse. Alexis Princer, escorted by Nancy Hernandez and Steve Princer. Alexis plans on going to Texas State to study psychology. Keaton Hughes, escorted by Ron and Matt Hughes. Keaton plans to attend Texas State University to study linguistics. Matthew Ivey, escorted by Jennifer and Mackenzie Ivey. Matthew plans to attend college after graduating. Andrew Johnson, escorted by Lisa and Eric Johnson.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Comal Independent School District, Frost Bank, Nissan of New Braunfels, Wick Productions, Ashley, Zaxby's, and Texas Tractor Country.
We welcome you back into the broadcast booth here at the half. Our score is San Marcos 20 and Canyon 9. We have some scores and stats to get to you throughout halftime. We have one coming in. It's at the half. Again, this game is going to decide first place in district And Clemens on top of Judson is the score at the break. That score is 20-13 in favor of the Buffaloes, also in district. Steele on top of East Central 20-14, and a game you could catch on our sister station over at the Rangers Network. Smithson Valley on top of New Braunfels 28-7. Again, if New Braunfels were to win that, they would have to beat Smithson Valley by 21 to claim the playoff berth. So Smithson Valley just one half a football away from punching a ticket into the postseason. And Bill, I believe you have some statistics from the first half as well.
Yeah, just a few. Exactly right, Ben. Well, first of all, we'll look at New Braunfels Canyon Cougars offense, and thank you to Deshaun Hartley from the San Marcos Daily Record. It's been a lot of the run, clearly, for the Cougars in the first half, as expected. Micah Williford, 16 rushes for 117 yards in the first half, and a good job of coming in. Kind of the second part of that 1-2 punch, Jack Luce, the junior, did a nice job of running the football as he has 9 carries, 80 yards, and a 27-yard touchdown. Looking over at San Marcos, huge part of our scouting report, the Cougar scouting report, was a 6-foot, 200-pound senior Takai Magid. And Magid, 4 receptions in the first half for 120 yards, 2 touchdowns for Magid, one from 32 yards out. Another one, it's really been the difference in the ballgame so far, an 85-yard pass, catch, and run for Magid. The quarterback for the Rattlers, Alex Garcia, 187 yards through the air, including those 2 before-mentioned hookups with Takai Magid. So looking at the second half, Ben, will the Cougars be able to run the football, resulting in touchdowns? Will the Rattlers be able to sustain that passing game every once in a while, finding Magid?
Well, I'll tell you, you made you had a second part of the sentence there that really kind of made me cringe, because what your stats tell me is that, yes, Canyon has been able to move the football, but can they convert it into points? Can they get it into the end zone? Again, a 24-yard field goal by Cameron Welch and a 27-yard touchdown by Jack Luce are the scoring drives for Canyon. Other than that, it's been a turnover on downs, as Canyon was able to move a drive deep into Rattler territory, just not get any points. They've also fumbled the ball twice, one of them at the Rattler 14 going into the end zone. And then they had the drive at the end of the half, which really makes me scratch my head and pull my hair out, as it looked like they could get some points before the half, and they just couldn't get out of their own way and ended up just sitting on the ball and watching the seconds run off the clock. And that's how we get the score that we get. The most important stat on the scoreboard is San Marcos 20 and Canyon 9. Now, Bill, I don't know about you. I'm a little OCD, and I'm a very punctual person, and right now the halftime festivities are running a little bit long here. The clock is almost set to start the second half, but the band is still out on the field and the seniors are still being recognized, and I could slowly feel my anxiety creeping up a little bit. San Marcos is in the tunnel waiting to come out.
You're not new to high school football, are you?
And I'm trying to do these just breathing exercises to keep the anxiety down.
Breathe, grasshopper.
I know,
breathe.
Just got to breathe through it here.
Mark Soto's got his team in the tunnel, inflatable tunnel to our right. But all joking aside, you know what this tells me? And you've been around this area a lot longer than I have. The growth in the greater New Braunfels area, it obviously has impacted New Braunfels Canyon High School. So guess what, partner? On senior night, there are going to be a lot of seniors, and it isn't just the football players, as we've tried to point out throughout the broadcast.
And there is a possibility of getting a penalty. So the band is coming off the field, and they are just 3 seniors left to be recognized. But they have told them, let's go ahead and get the band off the field. Let's play the fight song, and we can get your pictures later. The referees are coming out. They're having none of this. They are shooing the band off the field. So, Bill, let's take our final break, and when we come back, we'll have kickoff of the third quarter here at Cougar Stadium. Again, our score at the half, San Marcos 20 and Canyon 9. This is the Cougars Network.
3, 2, 1, here we go. Welcome to our NASCAR Race Hub.
From the green flag at Daytona to the checkers of Homestead,
In the car.
That close might get you on race up.
Under the hood and hanging with the drivers.
A little love fest here. Gordon, Harvick, Canal, and of course the champ.
We've got the drama.
Get the heck out of the way.
The science.
New levels of analysis and storytelling for the sport.
NASCAR Race Hub. Weeknights at 6 Eastern on FS1 and the Fox Sports app.
Ben Campos, Bill Colhane with you. Executive producer is Bo Wick. Third quarter moments away. Again, our score at the half, San Marcos 20 and Canyon 9. We were laying out the scores from around the area. Again, Clemens on top of Judson at the half. The winner of that game will claim the district championship with a perfect 7-0 mark on the district year. Steele is out front of East Central. They could block the Hornets out of any possible side wiggle into the playoff picture if the Steel Knights are able to hold on. And the game over on our sister station, the Rangers Network, has Smithson Valley with a 21-point lead over the New Braunfels Unicorns. It's a far-fetched scenario to get New Braunfels in, and I just think that you see that light getting dimmer and dimmer as the night goes on.
And Ben, it just got dimmer. Smithson Valley has added a touchdown. It's now 35-7. Larry Hill's Rangers leading the Unicorns. That game just underway in the third quarter. So that is a lot of wood to chop for New Braunfels.
You know, it's just one of those things. The scenario gets worse if I tell you have to beat Smithson Valley at Smithson Valley by 21.
How do you erase? Once upon a time when I played high school football, before there were face masks, we had leather helmets. There wasn't the point differential. But think about that, walking on the football field at Ranger Stadium, those Unicorns, some part of their mind, they had to think, okay, we're down 20-0.
You know, you would look at in my mind, it would be hard to look at the scoreboard and see 0-0 but not feel
right
20-0,
some part of you
21-0 or something like that.
Yeah.
So that psychology comes in at that point. And right now, Smithson Valley handling the Unicorns. Again, that game on the Rangers Network here on the Cougars Network. And we thank you for being with us. Cameron Welch has the ball teed up to start the third quarter. He drives this one, a squib ball at the 10, bounces off the shin of the return man for San Marcos as he loses the football across the 30, but the Rattlers were able to jump on top of it. Coming out of the bottom of the pile is number 23, Ogunbase. Caduce Ogunbase. He spells it Ogunbase. Comes up with the ball as it was Cruz who fumbled it, and it'll be first and 10 San Marcos at their own 33.
Up by 11, first play from scrimmage in the third quarter. I expect San Marcos is, still going to fill the air with footballs here, try to use that pass game.
They open up in the shotgun with three receivers to the far side. Ball on the near hash. They look to that far side, in and out of the hands of Cruz. And Bill, one of those things, I don't know if he needed to jump for it, but he did. The ball goes through his hands incomplete.
I think we saw Magic do the same thing back in the first half where the receiver is trying to run with the football before he has it. Wes Crandall, the junior defensive back, was breaking on the play. Maybe the receiver heard the pitter-patter of feet. A little bit of a distraction, but you've got to look the ball into your hands, secure, then go.
Garcia, the quarterback, out of the gun. He'll hand the ball off. It's Canales across the 35, minimum gain, maybe to the 36, gain of 3. Benito Canales, sophomore running back on the carry.
Have Canales with 4 carries for 11 yards, a part of the future for Coach Soto and the Rattlers looking ahead.
Third and 7. Can this Cougar defense get off the field on the opening possession of the third quarter? Canyon trailing 20-9. 2 receivers to the far side, one to the near. Play action, bat to pass as Garcia goes down the seam looking for Cruz, and that ball is incomplete, maybe a step or two too far for the intended receiver.
A lot of speed out there for Diego Cruz, the 5'8" senior, but you got to give him a chance.
Maybe a little more air under it would have allowed Cruz to run under the football, but it's not meant to be. Hernandez, the punter, comes out. It's the third 3-and-out for San Marcos tonight. This Cougar defense doing a good job coming out of the locker room, getting the ball back to the offense. Good snap to Hernandez, puts his right foot into it. It's high, it spirals, does not turn over. Williford will step away from it, let it bounce at the 30, and it'll die across the 20 to the 17. And, well, Bill, you can only take things one step at a time, and the first step was get the ball back to your offense, and it's exactly what the Canyon defense did on a 3-and-out.
Yeah, good job. And also, speaking of good job, nice punt, 47-yard punt. Some of that was on the roll, but nice job. And I'm looking at the flags, top of the stadium. The wind's died down significantly since kickoff at 7:30.
1st and 10, Canyon. Bassett, the quarterback, takes a direct snap, barrels his way forward across the 20, shy of the 25 to the 24. It's a good gain on first down. Michael Bassett, the new quarterback there for Canyon.
Bassett's a big dude, isn't he? Hard to bring down. We've seen him seen him blocking, seen him receiving and running.
He hands the ball off here to Williford. The Rattler defense is there. They're keyed in on him. Still takes about half the defenders just to put him out of bounds. Forward progress given to the 25. After all that, it's a gain of 1 and 3rd and short upcoming.
When you have a good running back like Williford, if you're San Marcos, you've got to rally to the ball, get multiple hats there. He's already proven to be a difficult guy to bring down.
Need to get to the Rattler 28-yard line. Excuse me, the Cougar 28, ball resting at the Cougar 25. It's 3rd and 3. Bassett has it. He'll try the right side, get some good blocking across the 28 and the 30, enough for a Cougar first down.
Boy, why not there? A couple of San Marcos Rattler defenders put a saddle on Bassett, and Bassett carries a couple of guys for the first down.
Gets to the 32. That'll be a gain of 5 on the play there for Bassett. He's back in the shotgun. Has little trouble with the snap, but gets the ball to Williford, who makes a cut at the 35, but is tackled from behind after a gain of about 4 to be 2nd down and 6.
You know, when that snap isn't just there, or if the quarterback has trouble handling that snap, sometimes just that 1/1000 blink of an eye can throw off the timing of the play.
Doesn't take much, but still was able to get it to Williford. The hole was still there. Give credit to that Cougar offensive line. On 2nd and 5, Bassett on the quarterback keeper, and he has been tough to bring down, but he is hit behind the line of scrimmage. The referee will give him no gain, and that really is a blessing in disguise, as it looked like they had him wrapped up for a loss.
Ryan Wilder's not going to get credited with a tackle there for San Marcos, but he took his offensive lineman and created the stalemate, kind of held his ground, and that bottled things up. It plugged things up and allowed the Rattler teammates to come over and make the play.
Opening possession of the 3rd quarter for Canyon. They trail 20-9 and face a 3rd and 5 from their own 37-yard line. Bat to pass is Bassett. He's rolling to the left, fires in the flat. It's almost picked off and incomplete. Oh, the DB jumped the route for San Marcos. Would have been short of the sticks anyways, but it'll be 4th down, and the DB dropping down and giving 5 push-ups for that one.
That was your guy, Ogun Bossi, who you said it, you described it perfectly, Ben. I think he had visions of end zone in his head. And what did we say about the receivers? What do you have to do first, Ben?
Catch it first.
You have to catch it first, Ben.
Catch it first. He was smelling 6, and it went right through his hands.
What am I forgetting? Oh, the ball.
Gonna need that. Welsh, the punter, sends this one. It's wobbly, kind of off the side of his foot. Will go harmlessly out of bounds. We'll see where the referee wants to mark it. He walks it off to the Rattler 37-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for San Marcos there. A late flag here at midfield.
About a 26-yard punt, but let's see what the laundry does to that number.
Ultimately affect the net. And we'll see as San Marcos offense comes on the field. Unsportsmanlike conduct against Canyon.
Wow.
Penalties have been huge.
So the 26-yard punt just shrunk.
You know, the battle of field position, special teams-wise, hasn't really been there. We've seen a lot of short kicks. In fact, a lot of these drives have started, if not at midfield, in the opposing territory. But the penalties have done a number on the field position game, as it was a short kick to begin with, and now this is going to set up San Marcos after the penalty inside Cougar territory at the Cougar 48. Fake the handoff. Garcia into the flat to Magid. He corrals it and will get out of bounds. 2 Cougars there needed to push him out. Nice pitch and catch, gain of 7.
5th catch of the night for Magid, now for 131 yards and 2 scores.
Those scores of 32 and, hold your breath, 85.
That was a ball thrown about, 25
might have
yards?
Been 20 to 25. The rest was done through his legs. 2nd down and 4 for San Marcos. 2 receivers to the near side, ball on the near hash. Fake the handoff. Garcia will try to go upfield. Not much running room there. Hudson Ammons making the tackle and initial contact. They'll stop forward progress at the 41, gain of 1.
Defensive team meeting there at the ball carrier. Good job defensively.
2nd possession for San Marcos and the 2nd opportunity for the defense of Canyon to get off the field via 3 and out. As Alex Garcia, the quarterback, is coming off the field, I think there's something wrong with this helmet. As he runs off with this helmet, must have come off at some point during the run. So this is the backup quarterback coming in, number 17, Noah Stubblefield. He's a junior quarterback. He's out of the gun on a very important 3rd and 3 defensively for Canyon. They give the ball into the backfield. It's a handoff to Canales, who's running his way forward across the 40, and he'll fall forward for a Rattler 1st down.
All right, nice piece of running, shifty runner. As he went straight up the gut through the line of scrimmage, the slalom act, was able to elude a couple of tacklers, and now we have a timeout on the field. Our umpire is demonstrative, coming over to the Canyon sideline. Look at that.
And he's calling for Coach Lepsis to come forward for a conversation. And you mentioned that slalom nature to the run, Bill. It was all in an effort to avoid the direct hit as the Cougar defense was there. They got hits on the running back Canales, but none of them squared. And he was able to fall forward for the 1st down.
Now we look down. I don't know if you're looking down, Ben, but for New Braunfels Canyon, we see Caden Holt come over to Coach Lepsis.
And then back out on the field. So it's nothing in the way that might prevent him from continuing to play as he gets back out at his middle linebacker position. Garcia is back on the field for San Marcos. He's rolling to the right, throws on a deep out route looking for Cruz. Cruz fell down coming out of his break, and the ball goes over him and incomplete.
That's scary if you're the quarterback because you can't anticipate the receiver going to the ground. And if the defensive back is locked in on the receiver. He's got his hands full, but if the defensive back is somehow able to look up, recognize ball is incoming, that can be going the other way.
Facundo was on coverage, and when Cruz went down, so did Facundo's eyes. And the ball sails over his head, sets up a 2nd down and 10 after the incompletion. Garcia bat to pass under pressure, flings it, and that ball is caught across the 20-yard line, bracketed coverage, but he's able to drop it in between the defenders. Cruz on the reception down to the 17.
An absolutely perfectly thrown football, just dropped it in for that gain of 18 yards.
There's a flag on the far side. My apologies for missing this one. Ineligible receiver downfield is the indication against San Marcos.
Well, that's just a mistake, right? Because you could see the play. Yes, there's bootleg action. There's rollout action, I should say. But offensive linemen, you have to have better situational awareness to understand where you are. Maybe if it was an RPO or something, you could understand maybe an offensive lineman releasing, trying to get to the second level.
Or you often see it when a scramble and you think that you got to get downfield and block, but it seemed to me like while it was kind of late developing that was part of the play design.
Right.
So we would chalk that up to a missed assignment for the offensive lineman, knock him back 5 yards and erase the big catch. It's 2nd down and 15 for Garcia. He'll try the near side with Magid. Hand fighting between the receiver and the DB. The ball goes incomplete and no flag. Great one-on-one coverage there. It's Tendai Hanada.
Yeah, Hanada, stride for stride. Give credit to the quarterback again. Alex Garcia is saying, it's senior night. Magid's the senior. I'm going to see if he can go up and make a play. And there's better defense.
Did a good job of just staying in his front pocket, not causing any contact, not drawing the flag. The ball a little underthrown, but it's just good defense on the near side by the young sophomore.
By the way, I'm sorry, Ben, we do see Dallas Gomez warming up on the Canyon sideline. Saw him earlier.
He missed the first drive as Michael Bassett was in there. Screen set up, and oh my goodness, Canales is leveled by Holt.
Whew. Somebody missed a block. Holt, you look at Holt, and it is as though he was shot from a cannon. Well, he sensed it. It's a feel thing, right? Sometimes a defensive lineman, a defender, you can just kind of sense if you have those instincts, and clearly Holt has the instincts there.
Well, I'll tell you why we know somebody forgot to block him, because no coach in the right mind would draw up a screen and say, we're going to let Caden Holt free. But he makes a play there, sets up a punt, 4th and long. This one is high off the right foot of Hernandez, bounces at the 25, gets a Rattler bounce before dying at the 21 where it is down. So once again, the Cougar defense forces a punt, gives it to the offense, and it'll be 1st and 10 Canyon as they trail 20-9 with 5:29 left to go in the third quarter.
Can I steal your once again? Can I steal your
please.
once again? Once again, we see a penalty. We see a penalty kind of pop the tire on a drive, an offensive possession.
You know, that's a good point. It was 1st and 10 at the Cougar 17, but the ineligible man downfield wiped that out and eventually created a situation that the Rattlers could not get out of. 1st and 10, quarterback sneak up the middle with Gomez, gets about 3.
We saw Bassett on the first offensive possession for the Cougars here in the second half. Maybe some question, what's going on, but clearly Bassett has played QB throughout the 2019 season, so something Coach Leftis and his staff have been doing all year.
Surely they have packages for him on 2nd down and 8. Handoff Williford. Big hole up the middle. Got to the second line of the Rattler defense across the 25. They'll give him to the 28. A good pickup. Sets up 3rd and manageable.
Now have 128 yards on the night for Williford. 19 carries, but don't worry about the guy. He's done this before. You look at his rushes, 28 against Steele, 23 rushes against Converse Judson, state-ranked opponent earlier this season.
Averaging a little bit more than 11 a game. Carries this season. Fake it to, no, they give it to Luce on an end around. He turns upfield at the 20. Good cut there by Jack, enough to get a 1st down, just shy of the 35.
You said it. We saw the cut he made on his 27-yard touchdown back in the first half. That was kind of similar to what we saw there. Luce now with 10 carries for 87 yards.
5'7", 160. He is light on his feet, and he can make a cut whenever he deems it necessary, and we've seen him do that already tonight as we now approach 4 minutes in the third quarter. Canyon again trailing 20-9. Fresh set of downs. Handoff. Williford left side into the second level of the Rattler defense across the 40. Should be a gain of about 6 on 1st down.
Right up the middle. Good job. Offensive line. But now sustain it, right? At the risk of you and I being redundant, Ben, you've got to sustain this stuff. You're moving the football. Be consistent.
Getting a good flow to this drive here. 2nd down and 3. The Cougars ahead of the chains. It's Williford left side trying to bounce it. He's got the corner into Rattler territory and down the sideline. Look at him go. Williford across the 20, 15, 10, 5. They won't catch him. Touchdown, Canyon. But there is a flag. Oh, Bill. I resisted the temptation to look back, and there's laundry on the field along with an injured Rattler defender who's up on his feet and walking over. We'll see what the indication is.
It's Dylan Basham again. It looks like they're bringing it back. It would have been a 59-yard touchdown run.
It looked like it wanted to go off tackle. It was clogged, so Williford bounced it. Broke, contain, and used his speed to go down the sideline. Casting crew moving back. It is a hold. And I said it in the halftime that penalties had taken 1st downs off the board, but not any points. And Oh, I spoke too soon. The first point's taken off the board by a penalty.
Huge. And an 11-point ball game, right?
That's just a big one. Ugh. Push the ball back to the 33.
Spot foul, but, Coach Lepsis, that won't make him feel better.
That's a good point. It won't end up being, second down and 20 or anything like that. It's second down and 12 after the spot foul. Gomez on a design quarterback keeper. He'll try the left side, but the Rattler defense is there. They rally. A gain of 1 back to the original line of scrimmage.
There hasn't been a lot of room to run for New Braunfels Canyon offensively when they called Dallas Gomez's number. He is a tough kid. You can tell that, but it seems like when Gomez has the ball, the Rattlers, there are always 2 or 3 guys there. And is that another flag?
A late flag. Unsportsmanlike conduct against San Marcos.
It was after the play.
Ugh.
Brian Webb, the defensive coordinator for the Rattlers, that'll drive him crazy.
My goodness.
Right? You get the stop. You get it. I'm not going to say it's a gift, but you get a present in that the touchdown's brought back.
Right.
And you have Canyon behind the chains. You get a stop, and then somebody wants to say something after the whistle or do something after the whistle.
The past couple of plays, you put that in the file to why these teams haven't won a game. Unable to capitalize on momentum and then shooting yourselves in the foot, evident there. 1st and 10, Canyon, it's loose. He'll try the left side, gets 2. It'll be second down and 8. And, you think about what separates good and great teams in this area, and we'll get to this point later, as Cougars quick to the line here on 2nd and 8. Handoff loose. He'll try the middle of the field, jumping over a would-be tackler across the 45 to the 44-yard line. It's a good run by Jack.
Yeah, it didn't look like there was going to be anything there at all. Made himself skinny, turned himself into a hurdler, as you described.
Quick to the line, the Cougars are again. It's 3rd and 3, an important down on this drive, now approaching 2 minutes in the third quarter. Loose, he'll try the right side, and the Rattlers guessed correctly. A host of them, Aiden Klein and Chris Solis, making initial contact.
Yeah, it was Chris Solis, I think, Ben, who got that initial penetration and just got a hand on Luce to slow him down, to take away his momentum, because Luce has done such a nice job of getting to the edge and then getting upfield, and couldn't do it there after Solis makes first contact.
So the Cougars will keep their offense on the field. The ball resting at the Rattler 44. Need to get to the 41. It's 4th and 3. To the line of the Cougars. Gomez out of the gun. With Luce to his left, they fumble on the exchange, and the Rattlers, whether or not they recover it is moot at this point, but they do. Chris Solis came up with the ball, and it'll be 1st and 10 San Marcos. And Bill, to finish the thought, in this district especially, winning is done in the margins, as everybody has talent, and you just You just get the sense that the reason both these teams have failed to put a win on the board is because when opportunities present themselves, they just are unable to hold on to the opportunity. And here, case in point, a penalty keeps the drive alive for Canyon, and they can't get out of the way on a manageable 3rd and 3. They get 0. On 4th and 3, they fumble.
When your opponent makes a mistake, you have to punish them.
Right. On 1st down, they end around with Magid to the far side. Gets across midfield into Cougar territory. I think it'll be 4 yards for Magid on 1st down.
Look for multiple ways, right? When you have a talent like Takai Magid on your football team, want to get the ball to him as many possible ways in as many different places as you can put together.
40 seconds left to go for the 4th quarter. San Marcos with the ball. It's 2nd down and 6 at the Cougar 48. San Marcos with a 20-9 lead. 2 receivers to the far side, ball on the far hash. Magid, the lone receiver, to the near side. Alex Garcia flings to the near side. Pass is caught by Magid on a little hook route, and they'll spot him at the 40. It's a good quick tackle by Tavian Facundo. Wearing number 3 almost slipped up and said the name of what I appear to be his brother Fabian Facundo of a couple of years ago. great Cougar football player.
Sixth catch of the night for Magid, and you can see just a hitch route there, and the defensive back has to give cushion, and a good ball thrown.
And that will end the third quarter of play. We'll go to the fourth here at Cougar Stadium with our score, San Marcos 20 and Canyon 9. This is the Cougars Network.
Is someone in here with us?
Ghost Hunters is back with a new team, better tech, and more answers.
This is my favorite part of the night.
We had to flee our home.
I've been doing this for 30 years. I chased the truth. Only with the truth can I truly help someone.
Whoa! Ghost Hunters returns Wednesdays at 9 on A&E.
Ben Campos, Bill Colhane with you, executive producer Bo Wick here at Cougar Stadium. It's the fourth quarter, and San Marcos is on top 20-9. And Bill, absolutely enjoy being around you and calling football games with you. Haven't done it enough in recent history, and here we are, finally get to do it in the last game, and we have now approached the final quarter of the 2019 season.
Yeah, great to be here with you as well, Ben. Calling a great game on a Friday night in Texas. Doesn't get any better.
First and 10, San Marcos. Backward pass to Garcia, who flings it downfield. He has Cruz, and he overshot him. Little trickery as they had Stubblefield lined up as the quarterback. Backward pass to Garcia, and Garcia, as he has done pretty much all night, overshooting Cruz, and the what could be in this ball game is
what, are you writing down a column of what could be? Is that one word? Is that a single word, what could be?
And there's about 15 files in that filing cabinet of what could be. But Cruz overshot once again. Second down and 10, swinging gate formation here for San Marcos. Garcia about to pass as they have a tackle eligible set up. Ball's delivered. It's the tight end, Ronnie Bettis, making the catch across the 25-20. Finally brought down at the 17-yard line. The bag of tricks being emptied here.
Victor Sierra, the offensive coordinator, he had a busy install week. I don't know if that's been in the playbook all season long. And Victor Sierra, not a stranger to 26-6A, has been at New Braunfels, Judson, and Smithson Valley. Dials up a really, really cool play there.
First and 10 for the Rattlers at the Cougars 17. Handoff to Cruz from the backfield. Makes a man miss at the line of scrimmage. Falls forward across the 15. Will get 3 yards there on a first down. And another late flag.
See, the Cougars are clapping their hands.
Just reminds me of what my coach Mike Tollison at the University of Texas told me. He said, remember, they always catch the second guy, so make sure you're the first. And I think that this was a case of that. A lot of pushing and shoving.
How about being neither guy? Huh? No offense to Coach Tollison.
No, it's just that was his advice there.
Don't be either guy.
As you mentioned, this was well after the echoes of the whistle and the extracurricular. And I guess for the files that we have going here, another one of could this be a drive-killing penalty? Looked like San Marcos had this inside the 15 for sure going in. Now ball resting at the Cougar 29.
As much emotion as there was coming into the game, especially for the seniors, but you think, okay, I've got a game left. Now you have a quarter left. It's time to try to win the football game.
Bat to pass, Garcia looking to the near side, looking for Magic, one-on-one coverage, ball up, and Magic comes down with it. Touchdown, San Marcos.
You look at it with the naked eye, and you're thinking to yourself, that is well covered. It was. But the quarterback, Alex Garcia, gives his receiver, Takai Magid, an opportunity to make a play, and he did.
Takai Magid has 3 touchdowns on the night of 32, 85, and now 29 yards to his credit. He has been the Cougar killer tonight as Marquez is on for the extra point, and this one is good. 11:01 left to go in this ball game and the 2019 season. It's San Marcos 27, Canyon 9. This is the Cougars Network.
They were like
falling apart as sisters.
They had this dark side in them.
All sisters fight, but no one ever imagined that this would go that far.
This is the person that shot his sister.
Twisted Sisters, all new, Mondays at 10 on Investigation Discovery.
Watch Investigation Discovery, GVTC, Channel 520.
(27-9) is our new score with 11:01 left in this ball game. San Marcos back on the board by way of a 29-yard touchdown pass. Alex Garcia to Takai Magid. Daniel Marquez adds the extra point, and Alfredo Hernandez has the ball teed up now for San Marcos. It's a high spinning kick that drives the return man out of bounds at the 28. And receiving there, Jacob Garcia for Canyon on the far sideline, and it'll be 1st and 10 for Canyon with time slipping away here, Bill, if they wanted to crawl back and perhaps pull a come-from-behind win out of the bag.
Speaking of time ticking away, we take you down to Schertz, Texas, and Clemens leading Judson 27-20. They're in the third quarter. Of course, that's the 26-6A district championship game.
1st and 10 from their own 28, and flags are down, and it'll be legal procedure against Canyon. What a great eraser of mistakes a playmaker like Takai Magic could be. As we go back to that last drive, we said the unsportsmanlike penalty, would that kill the drive? And it's great when you have a playmaker, you can just throw the ball up, let him go make a play, and then all is forgiven.
Wonderful players on each team. We could go by name and we'd be talking for a long time, but nobody quite on the level of Takai Magic. He's in a different plane, isn't he?
He had an impact on this game for sure. On 1st and 15, little out route, balls delivered and caught. It's loose on a little crossing pattern, gets maybe back to the original line of scrimmage. Actually, they'll mark him a yard short after a gain of 5 down to the Cougar 27.
And Jack Luce is one of them.
Yeah.
He's only a junior. I'm looking forward to his 2020 season when he's a senior.
Heck of a player, overshadowed tonight only by Micah Williford in a ball game he has had, another junior on this Cougar team. Rolling out is Gomez, keeping his eyes downfield. Now he has to do something with it as he is wrapped up in the arms, but able to get the ball out first. Applying pressure is Cameron Vidrine, and they're going to get him for, I believe, intentional grounding. Didn't appear like there was a Cougar receiver, and he was obviously in the arms.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, it is going to be intentional grounding. A.J. Gonzalez, senior for the Rattlers, is the guy who got in there, and the pressure. The ball didn't get back to the line of scrimmage was the problem. He was clearly outside of the pocket. Yeah. He was outside of the numbers.
Just threw it to the ball boys, and that wasn't enough to get to the line of scrimmage, so they'll lose the down and lose the yardage, put the ball back to the 20. 10-15 left to go. The Cougars now facing third. Long shot. Bat to pass on 3rd and long. Pocket collapses. Gomez is flushed out of the pocket. Hits Williford out of the backfield. Across the 30, 35, he's got a first down. Across midfield, making Rattlers miss in the open field. Across the 45, 40, still on his feet. Look at Michael Williford go. Across the 35, finally brought down at the 31-yard line.
What a tremendous play by Dallas Gomez to keep the play alive. Rolling out to the right, running for his life. A.J. Gonzalez was heavy in pursuit, and Gomez delivered a good football, and Williford has been magical at times tonight.
And we talked about Magic being the eraser of mistakes, and how about that one for Williford? Ball's on the ground, a bad exchange on 1st down, and it looks like San Marcos has got on it. A bad exchange between Luce and the quarterback. Gomez kills this drive for Canyon, and Bill, I couldn't even finish the sentence about Williford being such a great player and making a great play before Canyon coughs up the football and San Marcos will take over.
Boy, it's been amazing. The ups and downs the Cougars have faced tonight offensively.
That is the 4th fumble loss for a Cougar offense that came into this ball game only losing 3 fumbles on the year. 1st and 10, San Marcos. The Cougar defense back out there. They're not showing any quit. On 1st and 10 from the 33, they push the running back back across back to 30 to the 28-yard line, loss of 5.
Yeah, Ryan Johnson was one of the guys up front for the Cougars, able to get through the gap, and you said it, defensive line meeting at the back there.
Under 9.5 left in this ball game. San Marcos on top with the ball, 27-9, facing a 2nd down and 15 from their own 28. Ball on the far hash, 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Moving left to right across your YouTube app. Ball is released downfield, looking for Magid. Miscommunication there. Ball goes incomplete.
Yeah, Takai Magid breaks off his route, kind of hooks it up there at the near numbers, and Alex Garcia expecting Magid to just take off on a go route. 2 guys who've played a lot of football together. Coming into the ball game, Takai Magid earlier this week asked how does he want to finish his career, and he said simply getting the win.
9:03 away from that with an 18-point lead. 3 receivers here to the near side for San Marcos on 3rd and 15. Garcia bat to pass. It's Magid on a post route, in and out of the hands. He had 2 steps on his receiver and a sure touchdown. And the peaks and valleys of what we've seen from Magid tonight. 3 touchdowns and about double the drops as we would expect from him tonight. That one would have been a sure touchdown.
That was a deep post route, and Magid, the ball hung up in the air for so long that Magid was trying to adjust the ball, and he kind of turned it into an over-the-shoulder catch. Maybe if he takes a different path and he gets the ball in the breadbasket, he's still running right now.
Instead, it's Hernandez, the punter. Fields a low snap, puts his right foot into it. The football spirals and turns over. Williford makes a fair catch at the 35-yard line. 8:46 left in this ball game. San Marcos with an 18-point lead, 27-9. At this point, Bill, start thinking about how many possessions are left in this ball game. It's a 3-possession deficit for Canyon.
Well, and you said it earlier in the broadcast. Last week, the Cougars attempted exactly 1 pass against Steele. Not really a team built offensively to come back from significant deficits.
Williford on the right side. Big play opportunity here. Across the 40, spun down on a sure tackle by the linebacker Wilder. He's been all over the field tonight after a gain of 8 here by Williford.
Yeah, you mentioned Wilder, a guy who has 3 sacks on the year. Look who they've come against: Clemens, Steele, and Judson.
Makes a good tackle on one of the district's top runners there. Williford again, this time the left side, tries a stiff arm across the 50-yard line into Rattler territory to the 42. Equal opportunity for Williford on the first play to the right, now Williford to the left.
Have Williford at this point 22 carries for 158 yards. But here's the key: no touchdowns.
That's criminal to not see him in the end zone. 1st and 10. Gomez trying to make something out of a pocket being collapsed, and he'll go down back to the line of scrimmage, no gain.
Gonzalez and Wilder. How many times have you called their names tonight?
A number. Again, it's the talent coming through. It's good on both sides.
Canyon at this point has to be nearing 300 yards rushing, but only the 1 touchdown.
Williford up the middle again. Good blocking by the Cougar offensive line. That has not been in short supply tonight. Williford makes a good cut and is able to get just shy of the 41. It's a gain of 4, but sets up 3rd and long.
And the clock continues to tick-tock.
Now under 7.5 minutes. San Marcos 27, Canyon 9. Cougars driving. The Rattler 41 need to get to the 32 on 3rd and 9. Moving right to left, send loose in motion. They give it to him on an end around, cuts upfield, spins out of a tackle at the 35 and falls forward, but I think it's going to be a yard shy of the first down, a moot point perhaps, because we know the Cougars are lining up for it down on fourth down.
Luce has gone over 100 yards rushing. He's got 103 on the night on 14 carries.
Came into this ball game with 198 on the year. On fourth down, handoff. No, it's Gomez on the quarterback keep, tries the right side, falls forward, has enough for a Cougar first down to the 31.
That's why offensive coaches tell you to keep your legs moving. It looked like Moses Alva was going to be able to make the stop, but a tremendous job there by Gomez to keep those knees churning and was able to run out of the would-be tackle to get the first down, but the Cougars need to go.
6.5, just now getting back up to the line for Gomez. Bat to pass. He'll dump it off to Luce, coming out of the backfield. Luce makes a man miss and then gets clobbered at the 30-yard line. Making the tackle for San Marcos is 44, A.J. Gonzalez.
Again, and Wilder was there again.
Back to the original line of scrimmage, no gain, 2nd and 10.
I think San Marcos defensively comfortable right now. They've got a too high safety look. Just rally to the ball. Keep everything in front of you.
Gomez rolling to the right, looking for an intended receiver. It's far out of the hands of number 84, Aaron Rivera, the senior wide receiver.
If your offense isn't accustomed to passing the ball very much, I think we as fans sometimes are guilty of thinking, okay, you're talking about the quarterback. No, you're talking about your pass protection. You're talking about guys running routes. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's tough to kick that in.
Yeah, it's not just the quarterback getting into the rhythm. It's the offensive lineman getting your steps. It's the receivers breaking out of their routes.
Everything. All of the above, right?
All trying to get in sync here on 3rd and 10. Rolling the pocket is Gomez. He's looking for Bassett. Bassett's covered. He'll have to tuck it and run, Gomez. Gets to the sticks on the far side. Actually, that was the line of scrimmage sticks. He's still well shy of the first down. Maybe a gain of 2, 4th and about 7.
So Lee's with the initial pressure. Alonzo was the guy who escorted Gomez out of bounds at the far sideline. Those guys have each been active tonight. So Lee's a senior. Alonzo, a senior, playing maybe the final 5 minutes and 38 seconds of their football careers.
Need to get to the Rattler 21 on 4th and 8. Gomez rolls to the left. Now he switches his field to the right. He's under trouble. He's got to do something with it. Now he just throws it away. And down in distance needs to get into his head there. That's 4th down, and he just throws it away. But perhaps the best option when you think about a fumble or an interception on a play like that, but the ball will go over on downs. And Bill, we talked a bit about it at the half, what Canyon needs to do to get into it, and offensively a 3-and-out punt, fumble, and now a turnover on downs in this second half.
Yeah, it's been tough, especially when Magid has been from time to time able to make that exceptional play that's been resulting in touchdowns. Right, I know you can't do it. You don't have that magic eraser, but if you take away those big play touchdowns by Magid, then look at your scoreboard. But that's been the difference, right?
That's 21 points that I see on the board, 20 points at least because of a missed extra point, and that makes it 7-9. But you can't do that, and on first down, after the turnover on downs, the Cougar defense still up for a challenge as they push the runner back. It's Cruz pushing back for a loss of 1.
Expect San Marcos. I know it's not really their style, but looking at the clock, the game situation, expect San Marcos to run the ball here, right? I don't know that San Marcos is even that interested in getting a first down. Clock is probably more important, right?
I would think so, especially if they keep running it, and no real interest to perhaps try to gain 11 yards or so by play design. More important to keep the clock going. Hand off to Cruz, left side, able to spin out of 1 tackle, but is brought down across the 32. It'll be a gain of about 4.
A lot of the crowd sticking it out on this Friday night as you look down the home stands near side, and a lot of the folks from San Marcos have made, the 20-minute drive south on I-35.
This only you only get 5 of these a year. You 365 days. You only get 5 Fridays here at Cougar Stadium, and it's a long year, and it goes quickly when it gets here. On 3rd and long, hitch route to the tight end is in and out of the hands of Matt Dixon. Ball is incomplete, and it's 4th down. Stops the clock at 3:57.
Boy, there, if you're the Rattlers, you're worried about that tip ball drill where the Cougars end up with a gift interception going the other way. That's why, again, I was expecting the Rattlers just to keep the ball on the ground, play it safe. But Mark Soto's rebuttal would be, and he's probably right, it's the final game of the season, a couple of 0-9 teams. Let your hair down, right?
You just want to get back on the bus and north of York Creek and put a cap to this 2019 season. As the ball snapped to Hernandez, he has trouble with it. It's a high spinning kick that bounces at the 43. A little bit of a Cougar bounce and down at the 44. With 3:45 left to go here in the fourth quarter, as both teams, as this game becomes more and more out of doubt as to the winner, we could start turning the tables perhaps to 2020, and we say thank you to another senior class who has contributed to this Canyon football program that finds itself wanting to head in the right direction under Coach Lepsis. It is headed in that direction. The senior class is playing a big part of it, as there is a flag, late flag again, after the punt, holding the indication against Canyon. Well, that came out really late, or at least I didn't notice it till late.
I think it's your shiny field, again, because of that rain.
That is a reason and not an excuse.
This season, when you think back to the start of 2019 for Coach Lepsis and the Cougars, lost the season opener 24-21 to Lehman, and then lost their second game of the season, did the Cougars, 41-35 to Georgetown Eastview. Maybe if you change the outcome of those games, what would that have done?
Maybe perhaps some momentum and a pep in the step during practices. Who knows? End around, loose, has it here. Come to the near side, turns the corner, and has the boundary across the 45 into Rattler territory. Now they'll spot it at the Rattler 42. 24-yard gain there. A little bit of trickery as Luce is now out to 127 yards on the ground. What a 1-2 punch Luce and Williford has been tonight on the ground for Canyon.
How about next year?
Hopefully continue that trend with Dallas Gomez and Michael Bassett as well. Coming back for 2020. Little out route, ball's caught, flags down. Runner down the sideline, trips at the 10. That's number 9, Corey Moose, the senior.
And a late flag.
And a late flag. We'll see what it is.
Is that going to be the title for your autobiography? Late flag?
It is. I'm going to go in and place and rewrite the title of the YouTube channel and just say late flag. And the 2019 Canyon Cougars.
Coachable moments, though, right? These are young football players learning the game.
And really, when you talk about this, it's been a while since there's been a winner here at Canyon High School. You have to go back to Matt Elliott being the coach. He came over from Southwest, reinstalled everything. They became, 2 tight ends, 3 tight ends, triple I formation. The flag is an illegal procedure against Canyon. It'll wipe out the play.
And then unsportsmanlike.
And then an unsportsmanlike conduct against San Marcos, so there'll be some walking offs done by the referees. But then came the curious situation of Matt Elliott leaving before fall camp opens.
I remember.
And all of a sudden, Canyon is just left. I really think that had been, if he doesn't leave, or if he leaves and gives the coaching staff and the administration here at Canyon enough time to find a head coach, not on an emergency basis, then I think the story of Canyon football over the past 5 years is different. It's tough to overcome that type of serious change, and I think Canyon is still looking to get some footing and traction and propel themselves in the right direction.
Well, I'll say this: the location, the facilities, the obvious support of this program there are great days ahead for Coach Lepsis and the Cougars, I predict.
1st and 10, rolling out to the right is Gomez. He flings it while under pressure, and the ball is incomplete. Clock is continuing to run, and I don't really sense an objection here from anybody in the stands.
It was Ryan Wilder who got pressure on the quarterback again. That junior has been incredibly active tonight.
You know, we talked about how difficult this district is. You only have to point to East Central, who was winless in this district over the course of 3 or 4 years. Now all of a sudden sticking their nose into relevancy, to note that it doesn't take much, just the light switch over the offseason, good coaching, and you could be relevant in this district despite the big names at the top of the district standings.
The 3 losses in non-district 26-6A this season from, and I'm talking about the top 6 teams, Clemens with a loss, Smithson Valley with a loss at Midland Lee that you talked about earlier, Ben, and East Central went 2-1 in non-district.
You can do it in this district. Stepping up to pass is Gomez. He has a man in the back corner of the end zone, and it is caught. Touchdown, Canyon.
What a throw by the quarterback for New Braunfels Canyon. Dallas Gomez steps up in the pocket and throws an absolute laser. I think that was Corey Moose, who was not only dealing with the incoming football, but the back line of the end zone. Had to be sure to get a foot down. He did. What a strike.
And his defender. He beat his defender. An awkward pass and catch, able to haul it in, and a good one. And the referees are sorting some things out.
So the differential right now is 12 points.
And this is a post touchdown flag. So
against San Marcos.
So it'll stand as it was a 27-yard touchdown pass.
So New Braunfels Canyon going to go for 2 here. I beg your pardon. Get the deficit down to 10. Then, of course, you just need a touchdown and a field goal in the final 2:41. I predict an onside kick in the near future.
But of what variety? We've seen so many attempts today. Would it be the traditional one or not? They do assess a penalty here on Canyon. The referees have a lot to sort out here.
This may be an advantage, though, quite frankly, for Canyon's offense. Yeah, gives you more room to run routes, maybe get a slant. Get a slant inside of a defensive back if he doesn't have good leverage.
That's certainly a good way to look at it. It'll be spotted at the 8-yard line. Again, Canyon down by 12. Need to go for 2 here. It's a little out route hit as he throws, looking for Williford. Ball's incomplete. And, Bill, I got to think if Gomez is able to step into that and deliver a strike, it's 2 points.
It is, as the outside receiver kind of ran a clearing route to allow the out route underneath right at the goal line. And a good concept. The execution, though, just tough when your quarterback's under duress.
Our new score is San Marcos 27 and Canyon 15. And happy senior day, Corey Moose, the senior receiver, 5'11", 165-pound senior, hauls in the 27-yard touchdown pass from Dallas Gomez.
So you go from needing a touchdown and a field goal to now, if you're New Braunfels Canyon, it's spelled out clearly, you need 2 touchdowns. So magic is going to have to be on the side of New Braunfels Canyon for the final 2:41.
Keeps it at 2 possessions, but you're right, no longer can they utilize a field goal on that. It's going to need to be through the end zone. 27-15 our score with 2:41 left in the ball game. The ball's teed up on the far hash for Welsh.
And the Rattlers have the hands team out there. What is it? They're going to be 10 Rattlers right up at the 10-yard mark, right at the midfield stripe, with 1 safety back.
1 safety back at the 25. Everyone else for for San Marcos within 20 yards of the play's football.
And look at the guys. I'm sorry, Ben. Look at the guys out there. You've got Cruz. I see Magid out there. A bunch of good hands guys.
See what Welsh elects to do. He kicks it deep. It's over the head of the safety, but will it track into the end zone? It does, so that's all for naught. And a flag is down, and so is a Cougar player. At the 30, the flag is thrown at the 42.
Yeah, it was a tough hit, a vicious block there at the 30-yard line that sent the Cougar down.
Canyon has all 3 timeouts. And, we talked about this a little earlier, a kicker, can you put some touch on it? I wonder if that was the idea, is it's an unsportsmanlike penalty against San Marcos. I wonder if that was the idea from Coach Lepsis, if you could get Welsh to put some air under it, kind of float it behind, hope for the ball to run around a little bit.
Well, you said it back in the first half. I know you were kind of joking, but it's true. How, the ball ain't round. The football's going to bounce around, take awkward bounces. And, if you get it over the head of those 10 guys up within 5-10 yards of the 50-yard line, then it's a sprint. It's a race. And if that ball bounces around, maybe good things can happen to you if you're the Cougars.
This is number 80 coming off the field for Canyon. It's Luke Grebon.
Yeah, he took a tough hit there right at the 30-yard line. I caught kind of in my peripheral vision, and, it was a hard hit.
So that pushes the ball back to the 12 for San Marcos. They have a 27-15 lead.
If you're Mark Soto, do you put the ball in the air at all?
Well, normally I would dismiss that notion. But when you have a guy and as impactful as Magid has been, all of a sudden that's not such a crazy thought, and let him go up and make a play. But it's a 2-possession ball game as there's a pre-snap penalty against San Marcos, so knock them back 5 yards to the 7.
Boy, you're throwing from your goal line.
No, I wouldn't do it now. For Coach Soto, I'd say anything that gets me on the bus as quick as possible with 2:33 left. Hand off, I believe that's Cruz. Minimum gain across the right side of the Rattler line, gain of 1.
And that Rattler is shaking up. That was another hard hit. And you're right, it was Cruz, a guy who's been dealing with ankle injuries. Here, longtime trainer Jaime Perez. He has been at San Marcos High School forever. He and his staff running out there. As Cruz went through the hole, didn't get a Cougar number, but it stuck him, right? It was one of those, and we've all received them. It was one of those where, kind of knocks you silly there for a bit. Clean hit, but kind of one of those molar knockers.
Cruz on his feet now.
That's good to see.
With some assistance, will trot over to the Rattler line. Diego Cruz, 5'8", 160-pound senior, missed a good bulk of this year because of injury. And by the way he played today, this goes down for a big what if in 2019. If he stays healthy, perhaps the story's a little bit different for San Marcos in this season. As you look at his numbers, 20 carries for 194 yards and 35 receptions for 477 on the year, and he's had an impact in tonight's ball game. If nothing else, is a threat.
Both of these teams, right, as you and I prepped for tonight's broadcast, going through a number of playmakers on each team, not playing all 9 and into tonight 10 games of the season.
Here on senior night, you think of Callan Farr for the Cougars.
Sure.
Started as a sophomore at wide receiver, and we don't get to see him have an impact really on this game as the ball is given to the running back. I believe that's Canales. He'll try the left side. Minimum gain there. A gain of about 5 perhaps, just now under 2 minutes.
But,
we have a timeout.
Thanks, partner. Beg your pardon. We talked about it tonight about the talent in 26-6A, and yes, Judson and Clemens and Smiths and Valley, you look at the guys on those teams. So, okay, if you're New Braunfels, Canyon, or San Marcos, you're trying to keep up with the Joneses. Well, if you don't have all of your guys available, that makes a tough job even all that more difficult.
It makes me think of why Steele and Judson are so good. everybody has talent, but some teams just have depth of talent.
Sure.
And, it's much like when you watch college football, and you and I big college football fans, when you get a team from a Power 5 conference play a team from some of the smaller conferences, you see them hang for about a quarter or so, and then as the talent has to go deeper, then the separation really happens. And perhaps that's the story for San Marcos and Canyon this year. Some of the top-line talent hasn't been available all year, and the depth isn't there to compete with the Steels and Judsons and Smiths and Valleys of the world.
I can't believe that in a perfect world, Mark Soto would want to have 9 sophomores on his varsity.
Right. Right, that's a good point, as San Marcos will take another timeout here with 1:53 left. Again, San Marcos on top 27-15. We've just about seen it all tonight. A Canyon team who fumbled and lost the ball 3 times coming into tonight's ball game has done so 4 times tonight, twice in the first half, twice in the second half, sometimes at the most inopportune time. A fumble occurring, another what if, at the 15-yard line going in for a touchdown after a botched punt for San Marcos set up Canyon with great field position. Only one play later at the Rattler 15 did the Cougars fumble the football. That's just been the story of the night. The Cougars unable to completely take advantage of opportunities when they present themselves. Perhaps the theme for the young season. 3rd and 10 now for the Rattlers. Garcia out of the gun, rolls to the near side, looks downfield. Magid breaking out of his route. Ball too far for him despite the dive. It'll be 4th down.
Yeah, just timing a little bit off there. We have a couple of finals from 26-6A. Steele knocks off East Central 35-20, and Smiths and Valley beats New Braunfels 42-28.
So that'll put Steele at 5-2 in district play and puts Smiths and Valley locking up the 4th and final spot at 4-3.
I know the other score everybody's wondering about and don't see it, but I'll keep looking.
Hernandez sends this punt to Williford, who runs up and singles a fair catch at the Rattler 37. So, the start of the football season, you make your predictions and you look at this district, and you probably had Clemens, Judson, Steele, and Smith and Valley going into the playoffs. But one thing that was a surprise to me, Clemens fighting for the district championship, and they are hosting the Judson Rockets. The winner will take the district crown.
Don't have the time, but Judson is leading Clemens 30-27 in the 4th quarter.
Clemens had the lead for the majority of that ball game. On 1st and 10 for Gomez, he delivers down the middle of the field. Ball's incomplete. Clock stops at 1:35.
We're like everybody else. We'll look at the brackets when they come out. 26-6A is poised to have teams make runs.
Well, you got to get through some tough teams in the first round. Westlake,
sure.
Lake Travis,
looming. I know.
Hayes is in there as well. Hayes has had a pretty good year, as this is loose on a crossing route across the 20, turns it upfield to 15-10, pushed out of bounds, and some fight left in this Cougar offense as they get jacked loose down to the 11-yard line.
And a nice pass by Dallas. Gomez leads his receiver, where Luce makes the grab and catches it in stride, and he can do what he does.
Check that, the 13-yard line. 1st and 10 for Canyon. And San Marcos will take a timeout.
Yeah, the Cougars have a couple of timeouts remaining. Now, clearly, if you're New Braunfels Canyon, you got to score in a hurry, right? The idea isn't to score a touchdown here. It's to score a touchdown quickly, because you still have wood to chop. You still have to recover that onside kick and then get back to work offensively.
We've been talking, we've been filling time. This game seems like it wants to end, but it's dragging. But let's go back to that last San Marcos offensive possession. The incomplete passes that stopped the clock, and San Marcos taking timeouts too have saved Canyon some timeouts. They still have 2 in their pocket here.
Well,
When I would have thought, if you're Coach Soto, the goal is hand the ball off, let Canyon take all their timeouts. Still a two-possession game at 27-15. Canyon still needs 2 touchdowns, but with 1:26 left, they're knocking on the door at the Rattler 13. Gomez bat to pass, simple out route to Bassett. He is drilled as he made the catch. They're going to give him the catch, and a fumble out of bounds, I believe, is going to be the call, or is it going to be – yes, that has to be the call.
Yeah, they're marking it. You see the head linesman there with his foot at the 8-yard line.
And the clock stops at 1:20.
If Bassett holds on to the ball, I think he's tackled in the field of play.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. He stayed in bounds, but the ball goes out as a fumble. So it'll be 2nd down and 4 for Canyon. Gomez under pressure, flushed out to the right, slips out of a sack. He'll tuck it and run across the 5, dives into the end zone. Touchdown, Canyon, and a late flag.
How the quarterback, Dallas Gomez, was able to elude Moses Alva, have no idea, but the pressure was in his face, so Gomez could make the move. And then you and I both saw it, Ben. The lane opened up like the parting of the Red Sea, and Gomez simply lowered his head and flew into the end zone. The white hat is going to wave off the flag, Ben. I think he's showing you some mercy.
Thank you, sir.
But, hey, hold on to your hat, partner.
27-21, no need for a 2-point conversion. Send Cameron Welsh out there to attempt the extra point. The kick is up, on the way, and is good. Partner, let's take a break. Do not go anywhere at home. Our new score, San Marcos 27, Canyon 22. This is the Cougars Network.
Is someone in here with us?
Ghost Hunters is back with a new team, better tech, and more answers.
This is my favorite part of the night.
We had to flee our home.
I've been doing this for 30 years. I chase the truth. Only with the truth can I truly help someone.
Whoa! Ghost Hunters returns Wednesdays at 9 on A&E.
To my right, Bill Colhane. To my left, an empty VIP booth whose occupants left about 10 minutes ago, and I bet sometime soon they might try to make their way back in.
Ben, congratulations to the 26-6A district champions, Schertz Clemens.
Wow.
34-30 winners over Judson tonight.
Had the lead throughout the majority of the game, lost the lead late, and able to claim it back to get the district championship.
I bet Lenhoff Stadium was rocking tonight.
Clemens has always been one of those teams that are good, and maybe they'll play spoiler from time to time, but they have really upped their game this year. An undefeated mark throughout one of the toughest districts in the state of Texas. They beat Judson tonight, giving Judson their lone loss in district play. Clemens, your district champion. And here at Cougar Stadium, it's San Marcos 27, Canyon 22. The Cougars with 2 timeouts left and 1:12 on the board. Welsh has the ball teed up. Will this be another onside kick, or do you trust the Cougar defense? Here's the onside kick. Needs to go 10 yards. Takes a bounce off of Rattler player, but the Rattler player is able to get on it. Oh, for a split second, I thought that it was everything you needed to get the conversion.
The guy getting up from the bottom of the pile for San Marcos, guess who? Andres Alonso.
He's made some critical plays for them defensively.
A bigger play than that tonight?
That might be the play of the game. There's a late flag. Stop me. A late flag afterwards.
Yeah, there was some pushing and shoving and jawing. We've seen a lot of that tonight.
Well, and you would expect that after a loose ball on an onside kick, there'd be more than usual. Unsportsmanlike conduct, the indication against San Marcos, so that'll drive them back. Important, again, let's go back to San Marcos' last offensive possession. You had Mark Soto take 2 timeouts and throw the ball on a couple of occasions that prevented Canyon from using their timeouts. 1:12 left. The Cougars have 2 timeouts in their pocket.
No way do the Rattlers pass the ball on this series of downs.
I wouldn't think so as well. but I didn't think that the previous possession. Of course, at that time it was 2 possessions. And it was, about 40 minutes ago I had asked the question, how many times do you think Canyon will even get the ball in a 3-possession ball game? They would need it one more time with 1:12 left. Garcia out of the shotgun with 3 receivers to the left. Handoff goes to Canales. He turns up the field at the 40. Meets a Cougar defender at the 44. And is stopped there after a gain of about 7. Sets up 2nd down and 3. The clock's still going. Joe Lepsis not taking his timeout here. Play clock not being reset until now. Play clock is at 20. Game clock at 42.
Do you have a better chance of ripping and stripping the ball from the Rattlers, or even if you get the ball back with 5 seconds to go, doing something?
You should have taken a timeout there, I think. Handoff, Canales, left side, short of a 1st down by about a yard. Lepsis is not taking a timeout here.
Do we not know? Are we missing something?
$10 seconds and counting, and Coach Lepsis is walking out onto the field as if he's ready to shake Coach Soto's hand. And that'll be the end of the ball game. And partner, the only thing I would consider here is that the scoreboard is wrong and Canyon does not have 2 timeouts.
Boy,
that's the only thing I would think about there.
But I don't remember New Braunfels Canyon using 3 timeouts in the second half. You and I could have missed 1 or 2, right? I mean, right? Because you and I don't. Our stat crew is limited up here in our booth. I joke. There's nobody up here keeping stats, and I don't remember 3 timeouts called by Canyon.
Well,
Bill, I remember 1 vividly.
I am studying to practice medicine, and sometimes you ask the question, what is most likely? And what's most likely, that we missed that, or Coach Lepsis has 2 timeouts and he didn't use them? In that case, I'm going to defer on him that there's a scoreboard error and he didn't use it. But with 1:12, you would think you had enough time after stopping 2 runs to call 2 timeouts, save yourself a minute, get another stop, have about 20 seconds to try to get into the end zone. That is how it would have played out. As it played out here, it is Canyon dropping senior night 2019 to the San Marcos Rattlers with a score of 27-22. We'll take a break here on the Cougars Network. When we come back, post-game coverage. This is the Cougars Network.
Good things come to those who wait. At QVC, we say better things come now. Get it now. Pay over time. No extra charge with Easy Pay. The best news, you can use it on everything. Yes, everything. All the great brands you love and new products you'll discover. So why wait? It's Easy Pay every day. Now through September 30th. Shop QVC and QVC.com.
Is someone in here with us?
Ghost Hunters is back with a new team, better tech, and more answers.
This is my favorite part of the night.
We had to flee our home.
I've been doing this for 30 years. I chase the truth. Only with the truth can I truly help someone.
Whoa! Ghost Hunters returns Wednesdays at 9 on A&E.
Ben Campos, Bill Colhane with you. Executive producer Bo Wick with us as well at Cougar Stadium as we are set to wrap up the 2019 season. And Bill, I hate it. I feel like I'm Linus. You're taking my blankie away. But the high school football season has ended for the Canyon Cougars. And unfortunately, it'll be a winless 2019. But we look out here, some seniors have not just their Canyon football jersey, but football pads and jerseys for the last time. And one of the tragedies of high school football, Bill, is this probably won't hit them for another year or so when they're in the stands somewhere. They have played their last high school football game. So as the alma mater sings here in the background, tip of the cap to those seniors putting on the jersey for the last time.
Yeah, I don't remember every football game I played in, Ben. I don't know if you remember every game you played in, but I remember playing the Kent County Trojans, our rivals, to end my senior year. It's a game that stands out. I remember plays in that game. I don't remember plays from my post-high school, high school, Pop Warner, but you remember that game, don't you? And a lot of emotion tonight. So, tough night for the Cougars, but what a comeback. It looked like this game was over at a certain point in the fourth quarter, and Coach Lepsis and his Cougars said, no, we're going to continue to fight, continue to battle, and put themselves in a situation where with one more weird play, and this game had a lot of weird plays, one more weird play, and who knows what the final would have looked like, but also a tip of the cap to Coach Soto and the Rattlers, because they come on the road to end their 2019 season with all of those other variables, the same as what the Cougars were facing, and the Rattlers got a good ending to their 2019 season. Both of these teams looking forward to 2020 with a lot of talent on both rosters.
And as district winds up, our district champion in 26-6A, the Clements Buffaloes, followed by the Judson Rockets, Steel Knights, and Smithson Valley Rangers. Those are your playoff teams out of a district. Bill, I don't see you enough, but when I do, it's great. Great to be with you here on the last week of the high school football season.
Back at you, partner. I always like to see your smiling face, and hopefully down the road, you and I will be reunited again, and you and I can tag team on one of these broadcasts, because I meant what I said. I'm not from Texas. I got here as soon as I could, but I know this. There is nothing like Friday night lights in the state of Texas, and with Wick Productions, Bo, the job that their team does, an incredible job of bringing Texas high school football to the masses. We know there is so much talent, great coaching, great players, great fan support throughout our broadcast area.
Well said, Bill. Once again, your final score, it is San Marcos 27 and Canyon 22 with the win. The Rattlers improved to 1-9 in 2019, 1-6 in District 26-6A. With the loss, the Cougars fall to 0-10, 0-6 in district play. Once again, your final score, it is San Marcos 27, Canyon 22. For my broadcast partner this evening, Bill Colhane, for our executive producer, Bo Wick, I am Ben Campos, wishing you a good night and a safe drive home from Cougar Stadium in New Braunfels, Texas.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Comal Independent School District, Frost Bank, Nissan of New Braunfels, Wick Productions, Ashley, Zaxby's, and Texas Tractor Country.